All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? Hour one, Jon and Jim. We can save that conversation for once the Padres game has started again today. We got a good show lined up for you. We'll get you ready for the series finale. Padres Yankees rubber match after the Padres lost yesterday. We'll get into that. As I said last night in the wrap-up show, if not for the 10-run seventh inning, the Padres probably win the game. Like, consider that. If not for the 10-run inning, probably right there.
No,
I think they maybe.
No, they win that game because they were leading 3-2 going into the bottom of the seventh. So
I like your attitude.
They absolutely win that game. They
definitely would have. In the bottom of the ninth, Suarez would have gone 3 up and 3 down.
They're looking for the sweep tonight.
Exactly. If not for the 10-run inning, they probably win that game.
Just don't look at the box score.
Kevin Acee will join us at 3 p.m. from the Bronx, where Game 3 will be held at 4:05 p.m. Milan Iloski will join us. SDFC forward out of San Diego. He's going to join us at 2:30. His first career Major League Soccer goal here for San Diego FC in that 5-0 round of FC Dallas. He'll join us coming up at 2:30. There's a lot to get to. I think it's a good time just to take a deep breath if you're a Padres fan. The 6-game losing streak is over. They did allow 10 runs in an inning somehow. It seems almost impossible to imagine considering how good their bullpen has been. But awful inning, move on, see if they can win here today. They actually led this game somehow 3-2 last night, heading to the bottom of the 7th inning. And that's when Adrian Morejon and Wandy Peralta had other ideas and combined to allow 10 runs in a Padres 12-3 loss. But I don't think it's a reason to really overreact considering how good the bullpen has been and how good the Padres have been to start the year.
I wanted to get kind of upset about what happened last night.
Do it.
I kind of wanted to be like, well, maybe they should have used Jason Adam, or what the hell is Adrian Morejon doing? Or why is Wandy Peralta in there? Or whatever else, right? I just can't. I can't. That game to me is the ultimate flush it, move on game. It was not only just a blow up by their bullpen. I mean, if you're going to have your first real blow up of the year out of your bullpen in game 35 of the season,
make it epic.
Just make it the most epic blow up you possibly can have. And last night was one that hopefully we never see again, because you got 10 runs scored in that bottom of the 7th, a grand slam. Yeah, it was a spectacular blow up inning for the Padres.
Yeah, I said last night in the wrap up show, it's kind of like that big Babe boom that went wrong in 2015 when they blasted all the fireworks in less than 2 minutes. I mean, it's not every day you allow 10 runs in an inning. The remarkable stat that Kevin had, I think, in his postgame article, and Kevin will join us at 3 p.m. The Padres had allowed as a bullpen this year in relief 26 earned runs. As a bullpen, they had allowed 26 earned runs. They allowed 10 in an inning. So this was just a cacophony of disaster. And I think you just put it to the side. We also made the point last night, I think it should be made again, that if this was a postseason game, it would never play out that same way. There's no world where if everything was on the line, and this was like September, you need to get in to win a division or get a playoff spot, or once you're in the postseason, Jim, it would never play out that way. But they've used their high leverage relievers a lot. Why? Because they've been winning a lot of close games. Adrian Morejon's been very good for this team. He wasn't yesterday. Wandy Peralta, it was smoke and mirrors. He was destined to come back to earth. But again, in a postseason game, you're not going to see Wandy Peralta in that spot in April and May. That's going to happen every so often, and it happened last night.
You can't expect these guys to always be perfect.
Or turn to Jeremiah Estrada every night.
Exactly.
Jason Adam every night.
Or you can't just say, all right, every time they have the lead, it's Estrada, Adam, and Suarez every single night.
Right.
They're going to have to manage this thing accordingly, because, it is a 162 game season and you have to give guys a certain amount of rest. You can't have at the end of the year, look up and say, wow, Jeremiah Estrada, he appeared in 98 games.
It's a major league record.
You can't have that happen.
Because how good is he going to be in October if you used him 90 times?
Exactly. Same thing with Suarez and same thing with Adam. You can't look up at the end of the year and see anything over 65, 70. I know Suarez pitched, I think, 66 games.
65, and he led the team last year. You're right. Yeah. You can't go higher than that. There are examples of relievers doing that over the years, but you're asking for trouble long-term, and you're asking for October trouble.
Yeah.
When guys make 80 appearances, and by the way, the Padres have a number of relievers this year that have already appeared in over half their games. Why? because the Padres are really good, so they're turning to guys like Jason Adam a lot, and B, because they've had a lot of off days. But that's not going to continue. We're not going to look up at the end of the year. I'd be shocked if we did. And Jason Adam has 86 appearances.
That's not happening.
Those numbers are coming back to earth. He's going to end up in the 60s, and you're going to rely on certain nights on guys like Wandy Peralta, who, by the way, Jim, had pitched well for 10, 12, 13 appearances or whatever it was until he completely blew up. And like you said, if you're going to blow up, do it at Yankee Stadium against New York and make it epic.
Yeah, have a grand slam in one inning, followed by the Yankees batting around and giving up 10 runs. Like
the grand slam guy had an RBI hit earlier in the inning.
I know.
Austin Wells.
Good inning.
What if the outs they bunted into?
I know. So it could have been worse.
They were trying to move runners, and it was a pop out.
You only have to just kind of laugh that one off. In the moment, it pisses you off because you're like, "What the hell?"
I kind of laugh.
But then as that inning goes on, and it's like, all right, now it's 6-3, or now it's 7-3, and now it's grand slam. Oh, okay, this one's over. Like it happened very quickly to the point where within a matter of 10 minutes, that game ballooned from up 3-2 down 12-3.
Yeah, it happened really quick. It was just like hit by pitch or walk. Yeah. By the way, they did make a move in their bullpen. I don't know if you mentioned in your update because I wasn't listening.
Sean Reynolds.
Did you mention that?
No, I did not.
How did you not mention that in the update? What was in the update? Let me guess. The Warriors won game 1.
Nope.
You didn't mention Steph's hamstring?
I did mention Steph's hamstring.
But not the Warriors score.
I didn't mention that they won because why? They're going to lose the series.
The series is over. The franchise.
Even though it's
moved to San Diego. Everything's done.
Sure. I would love that.
That'd be amazing if they moved to San Diego.
Steph.
Sean Reynolds is back. He started the year on the IL, was on the Major League roster. He's been activated for Ryan Bergert, who has actually pitched effectively for this team. But if you're wondering, like, why wasn't it Wandy? Wandy makes money. Why wasn't it Morejon? Because Morejon's been really good. He's part of their A team. He had a bad night. Same thing with Wandy Peralta, but they get a little bit of, a fresh arm here tonight. And Sean Reynolds, it's not because they used a lot of bullpen yesterday, truthfully, because Michael King went 6 innings, and then because they lost, they only threw 2 innings in relief. But Sean Reynolds was hurt. He had a foot, didn't he? I think he had a foot injury to start the year.
Sure.
Let's just say it.
Okay.
Had that foot injury.
Fine with
me. It might
me.
not have been a foot injury, but he's been activated. And their bullpen, hopefully he
had an injury.
What was his injury?
Was it a foot?
I have no idea. I should know that.
Yeah, why not? Why don't you know that?
He's been activated. Foot. So he had a foot injury. So we'll see maybe Sean Reynolds at some point tonight. Here's the thing. Let's get into tonight for a second. Dylan Cease, Max Fried, no margin tonight. Right? Max Fried's got a 1.01 ERA. He's 6-0 in 7 starts. This is for the series. Can Dylan Cease for a night look like Dylan Cease looked a lot last year against a guy that's pitched as well as anyone in baseball?
I hope so.
Stay tuned.
I hope so. Right. I hope he could do that because you're kind of waiting for him to show up. He's had some nice moments, some nice starts. I'm not saying it's been all bad. And truthfully, you take out the blow up in Sacramento, his stats don't look as awful. Now again,
just like the Padres game last night in the 7th inning. If you take that 10-run inning out of, they played really well.
Exactly,
really well without the 10 runs.
That's 2 losses that you just don't even look at. The one in Oakland,
the one where Cease didn't pitch well. Forget about that.
Yeah,
that's basically a win.
It basically
because he didn't play well.
Should have been a win.
And then last night in the 7th inning, if you take that out, that's a win.
Yeah, so they're really 25-9.
Whatever they are right now.
Whatever the record is.
That's funny.
You're gonna want and you're gonna need Cease to show up here and start pitching more like he did last year, where he did have blowups last year. He did have stretches where he did look bad. Where he looked bad last year, but he didn't have this prolonged a stretch where he wasn't right.
Mm-hmm.
And tonight at Yankee Stadium, runs are going to be at a premium, especially against Max Fried. I would say the best pitcher in baseball with the toughest lefties in baseball. Now,
lefty conversation with the Padres.
Now, I will say, we had the same conversation last year to start the postseason, and
they beat him up.
They did very well against Max Fried, like very well.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe that you could play a little bit into tonight's game where you could take some of what you did against him last year in the postseason and apply it to tonight. It's not like the Padres lineup is depleted. You got a lot of guys, actually every guy that's in the lineup tonight, except for the bottom half of the lineup, faced Max Fried in the postseason last year. So hopefully, what they did last year against Max Fried translates to tonight against him.
What they did against him last year, if you recall, was knock him out after 2 innings.
Yeah.
2 innings of 8-hit, 5-run baseball, all earned for Fried, who threw, I think, just 45 pitches before being knocked out of the game. Machado doubled, Merrill tripled, Higgy homered off Max Fried. Now, Higgy isn't here, I don't think.
No, he's not, no.
But again, they had success.
Somebody checked, he's not in the building.
In the organization.
Yeah.
But I go back to like a year ago, different circumstances, but the Padres against really good pitching at times last year were really good. Ranger Suarez last year in that important game in Philadelphia, they beat him up. He had like a 1 ERA
right
heading into that. So yeah, you look at it on paper like, wow, Max Fried at home, Yankees, they can go for a series win. There's just something about the Padres. I'm not counting them out of any game. I'm just not going to do that. And Dylan Cease is capable of pitching as well as Max Fried has pitched. Now, I want to see it from Cease. Like, I feel like we've waited a good amount. I think he's kind of due for that 6+ inning, 2-run or less night. And hopefully that's tonight for the Padres.
And Fried is not some soft throwing lefty either.
No, not at all.
Against some soft throwing lefty, I'd be way more concerned than what you're going to get tonight from Fried.
Right.
So hopefully they can, bump his pitch count up and make him throw a lot of pitches and put a couple runs across the board. And if Dylan Cease could give you what you're looking from Dylan Cease tonight?
6 innings, 2 runs.
Yeah, I think that's right. 6 innings, 2 runs. Absolutely. You can do that. Get that from Cease. I think they have a good shot to win tonight's game. And you have a rested bullpen now because you didn't try to, I'm not saying chase last night's game because you could have, but if you decided to pitch Adam last night and it didn't go right for you and you decided to pitch Estrada again for a 4th time in 5 days, like they're not available tonight, most likely. Definitely not Estrada. So tonight, you got a rested back end of the bullpen. You get the lead going into the 7th inning. You will be able to see Estrada, and you will be seeing Jason Adam, and then you will be seeing Robert Suarez.
And then they have Thursday off, and then they'll be in Colorado. We'll take a look at the Padres starting lineup on the other side. Milan Iloski will join us at 2:30. His first career Major League Soccer goal was this past weekend. He's out of Escondido. He's with SDFC. He'll join us at 2:30. Kevin Acee at 3 p.m. This is Jon and Jim. All right, San Diego Sports 760 has 13 chances to win $1,000 every weekday. It is the Bonus Bucks giveaway. That's every hour, 6 a.m. through 6 p.m., which includes the next 4 hours coming up here on Jon Jim. So listen for the keyword, then enter it at sportssd.com. Kevin Acee is our Padres insider. He's back with us from the Bronx at 3 p.m. Milan Iloski, SDFC forward, will join us coming up in about 10 minutes. He's out of Escondido. He scored his first career Major League Soccer goal in that 5-0 round of FC Dallas this past weekend. He'll join us coming up in 10 minutes. Padres lineup, Jim, is out for Game 3. No real surprises tonight as once again, Jackson Merrill back in there for a second consecutive day. Jake Cronenworth completing a rehab today in El Paso, could rejoin the team on Friday.
Oh, thank God.
Hey, I mean, he's a piece. He's not a no one.
No, I know he's not a nobody, but I'm glad Jackson Merrill's in the lab tonight. I was very worried.
Well, Shildt was actually asked, would he play every day upon returning? And he said they will, at least. They're aware of it. The fact that he's dealing with a hamstring, he's going to want to play every day. And they're off Thursday, so he's going to play, I'm sure, close to every day moving forward. But we'll see.
And with his attitude, he's going to be pushing Shildt and this coaching staff and the training staff to be in there every single day. Mm-hmm. He does not want to miss any more games. You heard him yesterday. He's like, oh, thank God I'm back.
Yep.
And he is the type of player that just absolutely hates when he is not playing baseball. He just hates it.
I mean, what was he doing for that month?
Probably nothing.
Exactly. I mean, rehabbing.
I'm sure his girlfriend was like, yeah, he wasn't fun to be around because he was so
he wasn't on the road trips.
Yeah, he was just like, I gotta play.
Yeah, and some of these players too, like you do wonder what it's like to watch a game when you're normally playing in the game. Like that's not a fun experience to be like, hey, let's turn on Padres.tv, honey.
You have no control.
Yeah, are you even watching all the games? But Jackson Merrill back in there. Yesterday, by the way, in Merrill's return, I mean, we saw the hamstring immediately. He ropes the ball down the right field line. He has to get out of the box quick, and he doubles in the first inning. Later in the game, he scores on a sac fly where he's, really sprinting down the line to score. He had 2 hits overall in the game, scored on that sac fly. And I asked the question yesterday, is Jackson Merrill going to look like Jackson Merrill? And it looked like Jackson Merrill last night.
I thought he looked fantastic last night. Didn't look like he skipped a beat. First AB, 106 off the bat, down the right field line, sprinted his way to second base. Didn't see anything from him that looked like he was favoring his hamstring at all.
Right.
Then he, had another single, his second at bat, 2 for 2 there. I thought he was fantastic for his return last night. He looked exactly like Jackson Merrill. And I mean, what do you expect? You don't expect anything different from the kid.
I agree with that. And by the way, they could use his power. As good as this has been, you brought up this point yesterday on Jon Jim. You're like, listen, their pitching's been elite, and then they allow 100 runs. But their offense has scored the 3rd fewest runs in the National League. Now we're about 20% of the way through the season. But we're 2 games into this series at Yankee Stadium with a 314-foot porch that Aaron Judge took advantage of last night. Padres haven't homered in the first 2 games of the series. No. They've rarely even homered here in general. I mean, you have Fernando Tatis Jr., fairly gaudy number, 8 home runs. And then from there, the second highest in the team is 3 home runs hit by guys like Machado, Arise, Merrill.
So this road trip, you got Manny hitting a home run. You got
Pittsburgh, big one.
You got Elias Diaz hitting a home run.
That's right.
I think Gavin Sheets, did he hit a home run?
Did he?
I think he might have. Yeah, I think game 1 in Pittsburgh.
All right, so then they've hit 3 in 5 games. Again, they haven't been this prodigious power team.
No, they've not. I don't think they're going to have like 4 dudes on the team with 25 bombs. They might have 3 guys have 20 plus, but other than that,
yeah,
I don't know. Tatis will have 20 plus bombs, maybe 30 plus, hopefully 30 plus. He's got to have 30 plus home runs if he stays healthy.
Has to.
Machado, at least
29,
25 to 30.
His fewest in a Padre uniform full season is 28.
So at least 25 to 30.
Has to.
And then I predict Jackson Merrill's going to get between 20 and 25, depending on. I mean, he had 3 home runs in 10 games to start the season. He was on pace
24
for
games.
Yeah. So can he keep up that pace right now? And if he does, like if he has a home run in the next 4 days or whatnot,
No, you're right. He could hit 25 home runs.
He could hit 25 bombs. Absolutely.
But listen to this, for example. And they don't have to be the number one home run hitting team in baseball. That's not the prerequisite to like win a World Series. But listen to this. Yankees have hit 60. All right. They have Aaron Judge, right? And they play in this bandbox. So they've hit 60. The Dodgers have hit 58. The Padres, meanwhile, you got to go all the way down to 24th in the sport. They've hit 29 home runs, less than half of what the New York Yankees have hit, and exactly half of what the Dodgers have hit. And again, I'm not going to make a big deal out of it because they're 23-12, and they have found a formula to win. It's called pitching and holding on to slim leads. But 29 home runs, Jim, in 35 games for the team is a really low total. And again, I'm not calling it a concern. I think the numbers increase with Merrill Machado. But it's just something to keep an eye on. Like, what does their power look like as we get into the summer months?
I think it will get better because right now they've played in a lot of cold places. Pittsburgh, New York, Chicago, Detroit.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, I don't expect them to be, lighting it on fire and hitting bombs left and right.
And Petco's not a haven for that. We've talked about it before.
Yeah. May and April in San Diego.
It's tougher.
It is cold down there. It's cold. Once we hit June, middle of June, July, August, September,
it's warm.
I do think the ball will be flying more, and I do think that they'll be hitting more home runs because they got guys in this lineup that have pop. They just haven't hit consistent home runs as of yet.
Toddy again, 8's a really nice number. Everyone else, nobody's hit more than 3 on this team other than Toddy. All right, Milan Iloski, SDFC forward out of Escondido, first career Major League Soccer goal. They're getting ready for St. Louis City this weekend on the road. He's going to join us next. This is Jon and Jim.
All right, this update is brought to you by Rapid Radios. We'll start with the Padres. Final game of a 3-game series with the Yankees tonight in the Bronx. 4:05 first pitch. Dylan Cease on the mound for the Padres against Max Fried for the Yankees. NBA news of the day: Steph Curry, who left last night's game for the Warriors, suffered a grade 1 hamstring strain. He's going to be out at least a week. Game 2's tonight in the NBA. Knicks Celtics tip off at 4 p.m. Then Thunder Nuggets at 6:30. And tonight at 6 p.m., SDFC Midweek Live. 1 full hour of SDFC talk right here on San Diego Sports 760. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
All right, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. SDFC Saturday night in St. Louis, taking on St. Louis City at 5:30. You can hear it right here on San Diego Sports 760, the home for SDFC. And it's our pleasure right now to welcome Milan Iloski to the show. SDFC forward scored his first career Major League Soccer goal this past weekend in that rout of FC Dallas 5-0. He's with us right now on San Diego Sports 760. Milan, first of all, thanks for taking the time. We'll get to the goal, but how surreal is it for you to be playing for San Diego FC when you're out of Escondido? And thanks again.
No, of course, I'm happy to be here. Yeah, I mean, of course, playing in my hometown team in the first season ever, it's an amazing feeling, and it's something that, you know, a lot of pride for me and my family. And I was born here and raised here, so of course, it's an unbelievable feeling and something that I'll never forget.
When you got the call that you know, for an opportunity to come here, what was that conversation like with your family when you told them that you were going to be playing in your hometown for the MLS team, San Diego FC?
Well, actually, my mom was visiting me in Copenhagen at the time when I first got the call, so she was there for the full experience from the first call I got. But no, they were all extremely excited. I think it was a bit overwhelming probably for everyone at the time, and, you know, pretty crazy to think that I was not just coming back to America, but I was coming back to, you know, the city that my entire family's in. So of course they were extremely excited. And I think for all of us, when I first got back, it was a little bit like almost like a shock at first, and just, you know, we're so grateful for the opportunity, and it's something that, you know, it's something we couldn't have dreamt of. So it's been amazing, and they've all been extremely excited.
Milan Iloski with us right now. SDFC forward, again, scored his first career Major League Soccer goal this past weekend against FC Dallas. Take us through the goal. What is that experience like? What are you going to remember most about that whole play?
No, it was amazing. It was a good ball into the middle of the field, and, you know, we had a little bit of a break there, and then of course it was a good pass by Oni and set me up for a chance. And then, of course, when the ball hits the net, it's just, you black out a little bit, to be honest. And it's something that it's a special feeling to do it in front of my hometown, and, you know, all the fans are you know, people I grew up with. Really, a lot of people who are in the stands I've known most of my life. So it's amazing to feel that support from everyone in San Diego. It's something that, honestly, I didn't really expect to have so much support, and it's just been amazing for me. And yeah, of course, when the ball goes in and the fans go crazy, and, you know, I had to go celebrate with them because those are my people. So I had to go and share it with them. And it was an amazing feeling.
Yeah, no, it was a great moment. And it probably felt even better that it came in a win for you guys as well. You know, a big win for your club, coming off of 3 straight losses and emphatically ending that losing streak last Saturday night. Do you guys feel, I mean, obviously it's a breakout game for everybody, but do you feel even after your 3-game losing streak that you guys were on the cusp of breaking out like you did on Saturday night?
Yeah, I mean, I think always, like, the team had confidence, and we train really hard and we work really hard. The staff prepares us really well. And, you know, we went through a little bit of a slump there with a couple of bad performances, bad results, but we've always had that confidence that at any point we can go out and dominate a game like that and get a big win. So the team never lost that confidence, and we just worked really hard every day on the training field. And yeah, you know, it resulted in a good performance on Saturday, but, you know, that's been building, I think, for not just days, but a lot of weeks of hard trainings. And good performances every day.
Milan Iloski with us right now, again with SDFC, scored that goal against FC Dallas, played at Escondido, went to UCLA, is now back in Southern California with SDFC. You have the firsthand experience, Milan. What's it like? What's the soccer culture like, the community like, growing up playing the sport here in Southern California?
No, it's amazing. I mean, for me growing up, there was the Chargers here and the Padres, and that was it. And you still had this feeling like it was a huge soccer town. So, I grew up here playing my whole youth until going out to UCLA. So, I had two older brothers who both played and a younger sister who also played when I was growing up. So, we all felt that we've all been in the pipeline our whole lives, and it's a soccer town, I think. And I think now that there's actually a team here, everyone feels it. But I think it's been a long time coming. Also, I think that it's a bit of a surprise there wasn't a team here years ago. So I think now there finally is. I think everyone's seeing, opening their eyes a little bit and realizing how amazing of a soccer town that it really is.
Yeah, every match at Snapdragon Stadium has been incredible so far through the first 5 matches here in San Diego. When you look at this club, Milan, and you guys have played well, even though coming off the 3-game losing streak, played well on Saturday night, obviously. What's the confidence level of the club right now, as far as we know we're good and we know that we can compete with anybody in this league? Where's that confidence at?
Yeah, of course, it's really high. I think, we also understand that we work really hard. And I think, we have a really talented group of players and a great staff. And, I think when you put in the work every day, you have that feeling of confidence. And so, of course, the confidence is going to be high. And, we realize that it can't be too high. And we have to, focus going one game at a time. Of course, after a performance like that, everyone's on a high, and we're going to continue to ride that. But, it's about not getting too high and too low in this league. So, just like in the 3 games where we didn't get a win, now after this big one, as amazing as it is, we realize, there's another match coming quick, and we got to replicate that performance because that's the level we hold ourselves to. So, we're just all excited to get out there again and hopefully put on another great performance.
That'll be Saturday in St. Louis against St. Louis SC. 5:30 is the start. You can hear it right here on San Diego Sports 760. For you personally, Milan, and again, Milan Iloski with us right now out of Escondido, playing for SDFC. What's the next step for you as you continue to grow your game? How do you see the evolution of your own play as you move forward with this club?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always looking to get better. I'm still pretty young. So for me, I feel like I have so much to continue to work on and improve on. Just trying to take it one day at a time and enjoy the experiences of being with this club. And, the staff does a great job of working with us all, doing extra work and everything. And so for me, it's always trying to improve, getting better on the goal, getting faster, getting stronger, trying to really find ways that I could, continue to impact the game and, help the team get as many wins and, bring as many special and fun moments to these amazing fans who really deserve it. So, yeah, for me, I just, I want to get better in all areas all the time. And, it's my main focus, my biggest priority. And, I'm always going to be coming in every day, working hard to give back to the people of San Diego as much as I can.
How's it been to play under Mikey Varas?
No, great. I mean, he demands a lot, and I've had a couple of meetings with him in the past. And, one thing, he's really honest, and that's all I've ever asked from a manager. And, he's a great guy off the pitch, of course. So, it makes it also easier to get along with. But on the field, he's very demanding, and he knows what he wants. And, that's all you can really ask for as a player. So he's been great.
How many texts after the goal?
Yeah.
You get
what's your phone look
what's
like?
the phone look like? Who was there? I mean, you have family in the building this past Saturday, but then what did the phone look like?
Yeah. Every game I'm feeling so bad denying tickets to family, but I had about 20 in the stands usually on any given night. So no, everyone was going crazy. My phone was a joke. I just had to put it away for about an hour and let it calm down. So I don't even know how many messages, maybe a couple hundred. But
that's amazing.
I really appreciate it. I mean, yeah, it's really humbling, to be honest, when you see how many people that, you haven't spoken to me for a couple of years, but there's still that connection that you grew up with or that you, of course, have shared so many memories with. So, no, it's really humbling for me and something that I'm trying not to take for granted and trying to just soak up as much as I can.
Imagine that experience. That's never happened to me one time in my life. If I ever have 100 messages, it's like spam. it's like spam text or something, or like unrecognizable numbers. That is an amazing.
Or it's from me, and you're just like, stop texting me, Jim.
And I just like mute them. Yeah. Milan, congratulations on this past weekend. We're looking forward to the upcoming weekend here in St. Louis. Continued successes, and thanks for hopping on here in San Diego.
Thanks, Milan.
I really appreciate it, guys. Thanks a lot.
All right, great stuff. Milan Iloski. Again, SDFC forward, his first career goal in that 5-0 win over FC Dallas. All right, on the other side, we still have a moment here. So the Mike Shildt ejection that we talked about yesterday, where he got his full money's worth, we got the John Boy breakdown.
We did. Took a while, but I understand why.
And Brent spent like an hour cutting this up because there's so many curses from both Shildt and the umpire that are broken down in this video that Brent had to beep them all out. How many times did Mike Shildt curse? We're going to tell you that on the other side. How many curses did Brent have to bleep out between the plate umpire, Adrian Johnson, and Mike Shildt? The epic rant, you're going to hear a breakdown of it on the other side. Plus, Kevin Acee, our Padres insider, he will join us coming up at 3 p.m. as the Padres get ready for the Yankees at 4 o'clock tonight from the Bronx. So Kevin Acee at 3, Mike Shildt's epic rant. You'll hear more of it next right here on Jon and Jim. All right, Kevin Acee will join us in 15 minutes from the Bronx, where the Padres are getting ready for the series finale against the Yankees, trying to win that series after losing last night. Dylan Cease, Max Fried. So Mike Shildt got ejected 2 nights ago.
Yeah, it was an all-time ejection. It was a great ejection.
All-timer. And John Boy does these breakdowns where he does like the lip syncing and lip reading, and it gets all this reaction.
He does it so we don't have to.
Yeah, because we don't want to do that.
No.
I don't even know how he does it.
I don't know either.
But Brent then took the video that was posted today from John Boy. It was over 7 minutes, and he cut it down to like 2 to 2.5 minutes, where you get the John Boy breakdown, and Brent took out the curses. We're going to find out, because Jim and Brent have listened. How many times does Mike Shildt curse during this epic rant from 2 nights ago? Take a listen to this.
And they quickly then cut to the dugout where manager Mike Shildt just ramps it up immediately. Go yourself. Go yourself. I didn't say anything. Turn your head around. Oh, he is heated up. I wasn't even talking or yelling out at your sorry ass. I didn't say to you. Back to the game. 1-2 pitch. Tatis has to protect low now. Swings and chases. He immediately turns to the umpire and says something. Can't figure it out. Like, you cost me that one on that call. It looks like that call at the end, and says, you're gone. See you later. First career ejection for Tatis. Never been ejected. That was the first one. And Shilty's not upset. Did you throw him? He throw you out? Did you throw him out? You threw him out? Tosses the paper. That's pretty badass. Just, you threw him out, paper toss. He's got the pen in his hand, so that's up next. Do you want to go? Do you want to go? Now he's got to get rid of the glasses and tosses those. You don't see that. You don't see the glasses tossed a lot. I don't know how much closer it gets him, but maybe he's farsighted and he's about to get right up in his face. He's like, you turn and go off on me? Looking over? I didn't say a word to you. When you turn around and say something, well, I don't know what the you got for me, but this gonna end. I know it's gonna stop. Well, quit yelling. Oh, I'm gonna keep yelling because I'm mad at you. I don't know what he says, but he's, what did you do? I didn't do a thing. These guys were just talking to you. Nobody's showing you up. Jeez. Now this is when umpire Adrian Johnson, he flips the script and he's like, my turn. And he says, I've had enough of you and your horse. Get the on. You better get the moving. Get moving now. You get him. Get this guy up. Get him out. Okay. Turns. He's still yelling. Yeah, so go. Get out now.
Wow.
I love it.
How many times did Shildt curse?
1,000. I mean, it was a lot.
You counted earlier, wasn't it 18?
I counted 18.
I think that's low.
Now, I didn't count Adrian Johnson. And
I said with Adrian Johnson, what was it, 25, Brent?
Yeah, because the cursed 5 times. So it was about 20.
All right,
21
between 20 and 25.
Yeah, I mean,
does that include Shildt from the dugout before he came out?
Yeah, he didn't drop any F-bombs in the dugout. I don't. Oh no, he did. He did.
Yeah,
he said, "Go F yourself."
Yeah, 10 times.
I meant like when he was walking out there. He's like, "You want to go? You want to go? You throw him out? You want to effing go?" Dude,
it's so ridiculous.
It's so good because listening to that and like seeing what he said or not 100% of what he said, but most
like 99%.
Yeah, pretty close. Like 95% of what he said. All-timer from Shildt. All-timer from Shildt, and you love him for it. Like, I know we talked about, did this make Mike Shildt a Padres legend? But I think this definitely has endeared himself even more to the fan base now after seeing this. And I do think even before this, he was pretty beloved by the fan base. But after this one,
it puts it over the top.
I'm going to keep yelling.
The part that was amazing was when Shildt initially was yelling at Adrian Johnson when Tatis took that pitch that was low but was called a strike.
Yeah.
What Shildt was so mad about that was explained by John Boy was Adrian Johnson was looking over at the dugout and Shildt was like, that's not coming from us. It's coming from the stands. And that's why he was like, what are you looking at? And then it just completely boiled over when Tatis was talking. They even showed Tatis going to the ear of Adrian Johnson. He's like, I don't really know exactly what he said, but it doesn't look like it was anything. It wasn't anything.
Something along the lines of
crazy.
like, hey, that was on you, bud.
Exactly.
Or something like that. But the thing with Shildt that also was explained very well at the end of that, which I didn't even realize, but it's like, oh, I get it. Last year plus, they've only had up until the other night 2 ejections as a team.
2 player ejections.
2 player ejections. He's had 4, but 2 play. And by the way, Adrian Johnson's been involved in a couple of them. 2 player ejections. That was Manny and Profar. That was it. And the thing with Mike Shildt, which you also heard him say there, and it's like he didn't get a chance to like defend his guy from getting tossed. They just tossed him, and then you blame it on us for chirping, and you're already pissed off. And then he says something to you, and you don't give me an opportunity to get in between my player, and you just toss him right away.
It was very inside baseball because what Shildt was most mad about was like, I got the best like bench in the sport. Like we respect umpires. I hear around the league how we don't chirp at umpires.
Respect everybody.
So like for you to, he's like, and when he did the numbers where he said 7, but he held up 8 fingers.
Oh,
he held up 8 fingers and said 7. He said in his career, he's only had 7 players ejected, is what he was saying. He was talking about St. Louis and San Diego. I mean, managers are very prideful people. So are umpires. And that's how it leads to something like that.
For me, I just thought it was hilarious that, normally Shildt is like the, picture of positivity. And then he's just like every other word is just bleep, 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 bleep.
Well, also too, as he's yelling at Adrian Johnson, he accidentally bumps into another umpire, and he immediately stops, looks at him and goes, I'm so sorry.
That was funny. The guy's like, I completely get it. No worries at all.
Yeah, totally fine. Just keep dropping as many F-bombs as you want, Shildt.
Well, listen, it worked because after that moment, they scored 4 runs. They won that game. It was their 6th straight win. Now they lost yesterday. Maybe you should have gotten rung in that 10-run inning.
No.
You should have gone after Wandy.
No, that thing snowballed so fast you had no shots.
There was no chance. I didn't even hear Shildt post game last night because I was like, I can't. The 10-run inning.
Yeah.
What are you going to say about that?
Can't say anything. And he was going to defend Wandy Peralta for sure. Like there was no doubt in my mind that Shildt, when asked about Wandy Peralta, was 100% going to defend him in last night's post game. Yeah. I don't know if he did or not because I didn't listen to it because I was with you. Like we did a wrap up show, and I mean, what are you going to take away from a 12-3 loss where you give up 10 runs in an inning?
Well, someone joked that he said, like, I'd go right back to Wandy again in that spot, but I don't think he actually said that. Well, but he absolutely would come to his defense. I guarantee he would have said something along the lines of, he actually pitched better than his line would indicate. I'm like, no, he didn't, because his line couldn't have been worse. He let 3 inherited runners to score plus 6 earned runs. 9 different Yankees scored with Wandy Peralta on the mound for 2/3 of an inning. That's hard to do.
And a grand slam.
Including a grand slam and a 4-pitch walk to Trey Grisham. That's hard to do.
Yeah. But hey, man, Wandy wore it last night.
Oh, he wore it all right.
He wore it. They didn't try to nitpick here when they realized Wandy didn't have it and go someone else, even though I think Adam was warming in the bullpen. Up. But at that point, when it's like 8-2 or 8-3, excuse me, you just let it go. You're like, all right, we need to get out of the inning. Just get us out this inning. We're not going to use anybody in our bullpen. Oh, grand slam. Okay. Yeah, we're done. We're so done.
I do know this, that Wandy Peralta is not appearing tonight. I mean, maybe if they're down 20-0, but Wandy Peralta will not appear tonight for the Padres.
And we all knew that Wandy Peralta's 1.35 ERA going into last night's game
wasn't real.
Wasn't going to stick for the entire season.
Well, now he's got a 5 ERA. So
little bit of a swing there.
Yeah, it was a pretty big swing in one night. That's the problem with being a reliever. All right, Kevin Acee is going to join us from the Bronx on the other side with much more on the Padres playing this rubber match tonight at Yankee Stadium. Jackson Merrill is back. Will J. Cronenworth return on Friday? Sean Reynolds has been activated in the bullpen for the Padres as well. So Kevin Acee will join us on the other side. Today, we also have a giveaway for you. We've got a pair of tickets to see Willie Nelson and Bob Dylan in the 4:00 hour. But Kevin Acee, our Padres insider, Padres and Yankees are an hour out. They're going to play around 4:05 or so tonight in the Bronx. Padres trying to win another series.
No
Great
rain
pitching
delay?
matchup. No rain delay tonight.
Darn it.
We have Dylan Cease opposite Max Fried, and Kevin Acee gets us ready coming up next.
All right, this update's brought to you by Pala Casino Spa Golf Resort. Padres Yankees, final game of their 3-game series tonight in the Bronx. 4:05 first pitch. Dylan Cease on the mound for the Padres against Max Fried for the Yankees. Padres did make a roster move today, activating Sean Reynolds off the IL. They have optioned Ryan Bergert to AAA El Paso. NBA news of the day: Steph Curry, who left last night's game for the Warriors, suffered a grade 1 hamstring strain. He's going to be out at least a week for the Dubs. And game 2's tonight in the NBA. Knicks Celtics, 4 p.m. tip-off time in Boston. Thunder Nuggets, 6:30 tip-off time in Oklahoma City. And tonight at 6 p.m., SDFC Midweek Live, 1 full hour of SDFC talk right here on San Diego Sports 760. Jefferson Starship is coming to Pala Casino's Starlight Theater on Friday, May 30th at 8 p.m. Get ready for an unforgettable live performance experience. Get your tickets today at palacasino.com. Pala Casino, just 10 minutes east of I-15 and Highway 76.
All right, back to the Bronx. Yankees, Padres game 3. Padres trying to win a series after losing last night and snapping that 6-game winning streak. Kevin Acee back with us right now. Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. It feels like, Kevin, every day there's been a move here recently. Jackson Merrill activated. Now Sean Reynolds activated. We might see Jake Cronenworth this weekend. Remind us again on Reynolds. What happened this spring? He had a foot injury this spring, and that's what he's returning from, right?
Stress reaction in his foot. He doesn't know how it happened, other than a couple days into, even before position players reported, a couple days into throwing bullpens there in Arizona, he just couldn't stand on it anymore. So he had a really good chance to be in the bullpen at the start of the season. So this is probably bigger than a lot of people think, or potentially bigger. Never know what relievers are going to do you?
No, you never do. They could always do something random and get hurt. And you're like, how did you get hurt? So, yeah, he is back today. Kevin, we haven't talked to you since the Shildt ejection on Monday night, and it was a spectacular one. I view it as that's exactly why this team and this clubhouse will go to war with Shildt every single day, and that they love him. Some ejections can be bad ejections, but I thought Monday's ejection obviously worked out beautifully.
It did work out beautifully. And what I will absolutely agree with you on is that Shildt's number one priority, and this might sound obvious, but like, the guy is so intentional about his players knowing he has their back. That's all he's about. Could care less about anything else. Relatively speaking, he is about that. Now, he also happens to be a really good field manager, but the players know that. He plays. His personality, his genuineness plays with the players. And that right there, what he did, and especially what he was upset about, what he talked about afterward, or at least intimated afterward, is that, he likes to be the one to go take the ejection. And he didn't think that Fernando should have been ejected. And that's what really got him heated. Well, addition to, it had been about 7 innings of him being pissed about the inconsistent strike zone. Yeah. And no one really likes Adrian Johnston anyway. Now, he might be a great guy. I'm saying no one likes him as an umpire.
Right.
And so there, a lot of factors. Now, listen, if the Padres players got fired up by the ejection, cool. It's not like Shildt ordered it up. He can't determine when it is. That, one of his guys is going to get run, and then he goes out there. And I want to just say that, the Padres came back and won that game, regardless of the ejection. And the proof is that they've come back and won games like that the last couple of years. They are a relentless offense. They almost came back and won last night. And that's why they won that game. It wasn't because of the ejection, but I don't want to downplay the ejection.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Kevin Acee is our Padres insider. He's with us right now on Jon and Jim. I read some of your quotes from 2 nights ago where you see what Luis Arraez says about playing for Mike Shildt. I think you had quotes from Tatis and Machado. There may have been another player, Bogart's in there as well. You're in there each and every day. How genuine is the appreciation from the players for Mike Shildt?
Yeah, and I appreciate the question, because I don't quote guys on that. I try not to. It's not like I've got some lie detector or something. Right. But like everyone loves their manager, right?
Yep.
When the guy's still managing, but I try not to like get to put that out there. All these glowing quotes because it's like, what else are they going to say? Mm-hmm. But yes, it's genuine. And like I said, the way I put it for a while, because Shilt's kind of a dork, right? Right? We can all agree on that, right?
I agree with you,
dork, right?
Yep.
Okay. And Manny's kind of not, and Toddy's kind of not, right? Like these are cool dudes, right? Like, right? We can agree on that,
sure,
right?
I'll agree with you.
And Shildt plays. Shilt's genuineness, his caring, his love for these guys, they respond to it. I find that really impressive. I find it fascinating, right? Like that these guys just they appreciate, and then it doesn't hurt that they also know he can manage his ass off.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. He might be kind of quirky and cringy at times, but at least he's authentic. He is 100% himself. Absolutely. Kevin, just a quick update here. Yu Darvish, what do you got on Yu Darvish on updates with him?
He's rolling the hitters again tomorrow, and that's a really good sign. Keeps progressing. We talked about it a lot. They slow played him. But I think I said a couple of weeks ago they were targeting the end of May, and that's what they're targeting for him to return to a major league mound.
All right, so Yu Darvish potentially at some point in the weeks ahead. Then there's Jake Cronenworth, right? He's been rehabbing in AAA each of the last 2 days, homered yesterday, and that'll basically kind of get them back to where they were, right? Like that full lineup. Now that Merrill's back in it looks pretty good, but they could add Jake Cronenworth, according to your reporting, as early as Friday, right?
It'll be Friday. Yeah, I mean, like his scheduled off days tomorrow. He'll probably beat the team to Denver, right?
Yep.
Unless he really wanted to. I don't know what's in El Paso, because they had one of those minor league games where they play at like 11:30 in the morning. Mm-hmm. So he's done already, and he might be in Denver already. So yeah, Jake will be there on Friday, and you're right, that gets him back to full. Like, I mean, Merrill last night, I was almost glad he got out. I'm like, it can't be this easy for this kid, right? Like, comes in and double, single, running, taking extra bases. Yeah. So I think that was a very encouraging, not that you would expect anything different, but you don't know. But, the guy comes back and goes 2 for 4. And then you get Jake back, who had whatever it was, a 400 on base percentage. I think that, I think we talked about it Monday. This just works out for like everyone in that lineup.
Yeah, absolutely. Kevin, Dylan Cease pitches tonight. The one thing about Dylan Cease is he's a workhorse, and he gives you, at minimum, it feels like 6 innings every outing. But you look at his game log here, and he's only gone in the 7th inning one time. He's only completed 6 innings one time. He's given up runs in every single outing this year. His last 5 starts here have all, I guess, for his standards, not been up to where we and he probably expects himself. How big of a start is it for him tonight and getting on a stretch here where we start seeing the real Dylan Cease?
Yeah, I'm going to throw it out there. I haven't done the work. Maybe this is really stupid. I don't know. But off the top of my head, has Randy Vasquez been more consistent than Dylan Cease?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, not breaking down the numbers, the walks, all that stuff. I'm talking about giving your team a chance to win. Like, that's a number 5 starter stuff that Dylan Cease is throwing out there. One thing from a media perspective and a fan perspective with Shildt is it's kind of funny. And one of the examples was today, and I can't remember exactly what he said, but he tends to go overboard in his defense, public defenses sometimes of players. And you should understand that's not what he's saying behind closed doors. I mean, he's very supportive behind closed doors, but like they get down into to what's going good and what's going bad and all that. But it's just funny before the game, like he was just praising Dylan Cease and some line like, and it's been good. It's been, normal Dylan more often than not. And I'm like, are we talking about 2025 here? Like, what do you mean? Because no, it hasn't. Not even close. So I think this might be like the 3rd or 4th start where we're like, hey, is this a big start for Dylan Cease? Yeah, it's a big start for Dylan Cease.
Yeah, I feel like at some point you're going to get to a point in the year where it's going to be no longer early for Cease, whatever that means. He's still going to be in the rotation, but at some point it's no longer going to be early. Kevin Acee is our Padres insider. Is there any reason to react, let alone overreact to that 7th inning last night where 10 runs scored for the Yankees. I mean, it's such an aberration. It was so unexpected. How do you react to it covering the team?
Well, I mean, the first thing is like 2 guys had bad nights, right? Like they made some bad pitches, and the Yankees are pretty good. And, yeah, I mean, it doesn't happen very often, but it happens. Yeah. Look, guys have had to work a lot. Wandy's probably not a good matchup for this team, right? They know him, the kinds of pitches. They hit the ball, and Wandy's probably not a good matchup. But you know what? Lately, the back end guys have been working a lot, and so there was a time earlier in the year where it really was lining up. Like, oh, cool, Estrada, Adam, Flores. You couldn't do that last night. Adam was down. Estrada, I think, was down. Like they were like emergency only, and so that's what you had to go with. And you know what? I not that I'm always right, but I'm like, oh, that's right, Morejon, and then probably that was the 7th, so it's probably gonna be Peralta for the 8th. I was like, okay, well, Padres are probably do good to get more than a 1-run lead here. And they didn't even have a chance to finish that thought basically before it was a tie game, and then obviously it was a 9-run game.
Yeah, and if you're going to have your worst bullpen outing of the year in game 35 of the season, as John said, have it be like the Big Bay Boom. Just go big. Just instead of just giving up a couple runs, just give up 10.
Make it epic
with a grand slam. Just have it be an epic blow up inning. Just get it out of the way. So
I do want to say, like, it was trending that way now, or at least I felt for a few days. Not with those 2 guys necessarily, but like these guys have worked a lot. Like they haven't worked like the Dodgers bullpen necessarily, the innings and all that, but their high leverage guys have been awesome, and they've been pitching a lot, and there've been a little more contact and a little more danger, a little more traffic. It was trending that way. In no way am I saying that I was predicting a 10-run inning at all. But like it wasn't like you're right. 35th game, it happened, and this bullpen's been pretty darn good. And it was at some point there was going to be a time where they gave up their first lead in the final 3 innings of a game.
Yeah, it's bound to happen over a 162-game season. They still have the best bullpen ERA in baseball, even after the 10-run inning last night. Yeah. So that's still really good. Final one for me, Kevin. Me and John were talking about this. The power numbers with this team this year haven't particularly been there yet. Is there any, I get not concerned, but just kind of like wondering, like, are these power numbers going to tick up here? Because the guys that were expected to hit 25 to 30 bombs, Toddy, Manny, and Merrill, I feel like are going to be able to get those numbers. But other than that, kind of searching, right?
Right. And until so Merrill was down. So there you're missing probably 3 more homers in those 23 games. Oh, I'm going minimum here, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then, Manny, look, hasn't been seeing a lot of pitches, has missed some pitches, has lined out some pitches. And so maybe just missing. And then Toddy has not been seeing a lot of pitches with Merrill out. I think I haven't done the work on that, but I'm going with what I'm being told. And then anecdotally, I'm thinking I have actually noticed at different times that how they're able to be a little more careful with those guys. I'm not making excuses for them. People don't pitch to Aaron Judge very much either, and he's got 12 bombs. So I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying, I think there's a lot of factors where you could find 7, 8, 9 more homers somewhere, and then it would maybe be a little normal. I don't know. But yeah, it's absolutely something. They're not scoring a lot. What they're doing, which is cool and all, is doing what they say. They love that saying, right? Find a way to score one more than the other team. Okay, cool. But there is going to come a time where, Manny needs to break his tie with Luis Arraez with 3 home runs.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And again, listen, I mean, their pitching's been so good that you can win a World Series with good pitching. It's harder to do it just with a good offense and not good pitching. But again, the pitching's been good. The power numbers hopefully will come as we get into some of those summer months as well. Kevin, always appreciate it. Safe travels to Denver, and we'll do it again on Friday.
Right on. Take care.
All right, Kevin Acee brought to you by the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. We'll react, plus hear from Mike Shildt pregame on the other side. This is Jon and Jim. All right, tonight at 6, right here on San Diego Sports 760, SDFC Midweek Live. You're going to hear from Mikey Varas, the head coach, as well as interviews with players and coaches. The latest club and MLS information hosted by Darren Smith, SDFC Midweek Live, every Wednesday at 6 on your home for SDFC, San Diego Sports 760.
Is Darren doing it from Spain?
I don't have it. It doesn't say that. Brent's got an update. Is it Darren this week?
It's not.
No, I just didn't change it.
So this is not factual.
Correct.
All right, let's start the show over. Roll this thing back to 2 p.m. We got to do another 4 hours. Because this has to be perfect. If we mess something up, we start over. Right?
I will throat punch you.
Okay.
That will not happen. There will not be any reset of the show to do 4 more hours.
Who's hosting? Adrian Garcia Marquez? All
Correct.
Right. Adrian Garcia Marquez tonight at 6 on San Diego Sports 760. Do we have Shildt pregame here, Brent? Where does he start? Do we know where he starts?
Dylan Cease.
All right, he starts with Dylan Cease. This was Mike Shildt prior to today's game against the Yankees.
Yeah, man, we're looking forward to Dylan pitching. Always look forward to it. I know he's excited. We're excited, and it's going to be a good game.
It seems like he's getting closer to being the dominant type of Dylan that we've seen in the past. I mean, he's been good, but a step closer to being that dominant guy.
Yeah, I think he's getting closer. I think, he's shown the ability to do that over the course of the season, and we have high expectations for Dylan. And, I think sometimes when it doesn't go as well, we go, oh, my gosh, we don't appreciate when it does go well. and it's gone well a fair amount of the time. And excited to see him watching pitch tonight. And the fastball's been explosive, slider's getting better, so it should be a good night.
Yeah. You got a good competitor on the other side as well, Max Fried. Does it help at all that you guys had some success against him in the postseason, possibly?
We've had some experiences against Max. He's clearly one of the better pitchers in baseball. He's throwing the ball extremely well to start the season, to no real surprise to anyone. I think past experiences are beneficial in almost anything, and we know he's going to bring his A game, but we've also had some good experiences against him.
It's been a nice little theme the last week or so, getting guys back. Luis is back, Jackson back, Brandon's back, now Sean Reynolds back as well. How much does that help, just having that added depth and another big power arm in your bullpen?
Yeah, it helps. I mean, listen, Jackson getting back last night, picked up right where he left off. I mean, doubled on the line, takes what the game gives him, base hit the other way, good decisions on the bases. So nice to have Jackson back. Sean, was a part of our club last year, contributed, had a setback in spring training with his foot, and worked really hard with the medical staff and did a great job with him to get back, and now he's ready to compete for us.
What did you see from Berger coming down and working out of the pen?
I thought Berger was outstanding. It's hard to break into the big leagues. It's a challenge to break into the big leagues in a different role. It's the guy historically who started, comes in, pitches out of the bullpen, so now not sure of when he's going to pitch, and then how to get ready for a game, and has been able to – he threw the ball really well. Pitched in, games were up 5-0 and gets the ninth inning and no drama to it. Able to go back-to-back yesterday, able to get his first big league win. We sat down with him today, really pleased for him, happy about how he's, progressed, how he accepted that role. The move today was a combination of Sean's healthy and able to get back, but also in concert with, we feel like we were fresh on arms today. So when we had this need to get the arm, we always take the fresh arm. But really the big picture move for Bergie was getting him going back and built up as a starter again. We have some reliever depth that we can trust, but also continue to get more starter depth if we need it.
What does that process look like? Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I think it's pretty straightforward. Ruben and with Scott Mitchell, who does a great job as our AAA pitching coach in El Paso. Great relationship. They'll communicate. Back-to-back days. Whether it's Saturday or Sunday, probably a lean towards Sunday, where he starts, and then there's a modification of, what inexactness of he started, had this many pitches, he's gone away from it. What makes sense? We'll clearly err on the side of caution. So. It'll be back to the, 50 pitch mark type thing and building back up to 80, 90 pitches.
Do you know yet when Darvish facing hitters?
Tomorrow. Yes, sir.
Substantial step, right?
It's a substantial step. He threw yesterday, bullpen, and scheduled for tomorrow in Arizona. And yeah, it's a big step. It's an organized up and down with hitters, and it's a good thing for you, and it's a great thing for us.
What do you think Ruben does so well? I had a conversation with Jason Adam, and obviously comes from Tampa to here, like Kyle Snyder and his staff, very similar.
Yep.
He said, what do you think he does so well?
I think there's a lot of things. First of all, I said this last year. It's a longer answer your question, but it's worth the explanation. When I took over this position last year and you look at the team in total and you looked at where we were, the strongest part of that nucleus of how we're going to compete, pitching, hitting, defense, base running, etc., was our pitching department. And I got to see that being an organization in a different role from the first year Ruben was here, and clearly didn't get in the weeds, watched it peripherally, but just got an opportunity to see the synergy that started to be that Ruben led, that was built with our R&D department, our medical department, our player development department, coupled with Ben Fritz, our bullpen coach, and who does a tremendous job. I'm sure Jason may have, said some positive things about as well. And then Peter Somerville, who our game planning coach. I saw Ruben put together a very, very talented group and organize it. But one of the final things that I think is at the top of the list that what Ruben does well is there's a partnership with our player. And I believe in that sincerely, pitching, hitting, defense, all of it. You know, we get players now that have gotten to a big league level, especially guys like Jason that have been here and had success and rightfully know who they are. It's important that their voice is heard and what's taking place. So there's a real partnership with the player and a real clarity that says, okay, this is what I'd like to work on. It's what I've had success with. And then Ruben, coupled with his experience and his group's thoughts, can also share, well, we see it also this way, but let's try this. And there's an open-mindedness from everybody that lands to a sweet spot of how it is you best compete with your arsenal and the clarity of that.
I can't believe it was only a 2-minute response to what is Ruben able to do well. I thought that would go on through first pitch. We have to stop the game.
I thought the show would be over now.
I mean, hey, what is Ruben able to do well?
Oh, that's
I'm glad you asked.
It clears a lane for a 10-minute answer by Shildt.
All right, Mike Shildt's ready for tonight. We'll continue to get you ready for the Padres and the Yankees on the other side. The wrap is coming up at 4 p.m. Also, your chance later in the show in the 4 o'clock hour to win a pair of tickets to see both Willie Nelson and Bob Dylan. This is coming up May 15th in about a week at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. Tickets are available at Ticketmaster.com. We're getting you ready for Padres and Yankees, the rubber match of a 3-game series. Stay with us on Jon and Jim.
All right, this update's brought to you by Rapid Radios. We'll start with the Padres. Their final game of a 3-game series against the Yankees. 4:05 first pitch. Dylan Cease on the mound for the Padres against Max Fried for the Yankees. Sean Reynolds, he has been activated from the IL. Ryan Bergert has been optioned down to AAA El Paso. NBA news of the day, Steph Curry. He left last night's game for the Warriors, suffered a grade 1 hamstring strain. He's going to be out at least a week for the Dubs. Game 2's tonight in the NBA. Knicks Celtics, 4 p.m. tip-off time in Boston. Then Thunder Nuggets tip-off is at 6:30 in Oklahoma City. And tonight at 6 p.m., SDFC Midweek Live, 1 full hour of SDFC talk right here on San Diego Sports 760. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscriptions ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off. Free UPS shipping, add code radio, and get an extra 5% off.
All right, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. The wrap coming up at 4 p.m. Your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Bob Dylan and Willie Nelson coming up in the 4 o'clock hour as well. That'll be May 15th. All right, so Fried Cease, right? So listen to these career numbers for Padres against Max Fried.
Okay.
All right, some of the players in the lineup tonight. For example, Luis Ariz is 4 for 8 lifetime. He's 4 for 8 lifetime against everyone.
Is that good?
4 for 8 lifetime. That's good. Manny Machado against Max Fried lifetime, 1 for 14.
Is that good?
No, but he homered in his one hit. Let's see. Aaron Judge against Dylan Cease, 4 for 10.
Is that good?
With a home run. Lifetime off Dylan Cease. So those are the outliers here tonight. Ariz is good against everyone. Merrill was 2 for 2 last year off of Fried in the postseason.
Is that good?
That's very good. That's very good. So I feel as if
what about Bogey?
Bogey off Fried in his career, surprisingly, is 2 for 8.
Is that good?
It's not terrible. Did you say anything else?
Wait, did you say Toddy's numbers?
Toddy lifetime off Fried. Is that good?
What is it?
2 for 5.
Is that good?
It's pretty good, actually. 2 for 5. So that's a little bit of what we're getting into. I think, listen, Fried's numbers are ridiculous. A 1.01 in 7 starts is basically unheard of.
It's got to be the best in baseball, right?
I think it is for a starter. I don't think there's a starter with a lower ERA than 1.01.
I'm going to double check that right now because I'm pretty sure if any other.
Not a qualifying starter.
Oh, wow. Someone has a lower ERA, which is Yoshinobu Yamamoto has a 0.9 ERA and 40 innings pitched this year.
So there is a qualifying starter, but still, Fried's been pretty darn good. A 1.01. Will you take the over on he allows more than 1 run?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. I just kind of trust in this offense. They've seen Fried before.
They'll
figure out a way to score a couple of runs off him and be in this game.
Yeah, I think they will. I think that they're going to score a couple of runs. Now watch it tonight. Fried's going to have a shutout.
They could. I mean, it's all year.
Yeah, it absolutely could. But yeah, I think you put Merrill back in that lineup. You get the grit back in there. And also you get a damn good baseball player, even though lefty on lefty, but still 2 for 2 against. He's not scared of anybody. There is not a single matchup that Jackson Merrill is scared of in the big leagues.
The bigger question is, can Dylan Cease look like Dylan Cease?
That is the biggest question.
We've been saying that for so long now. It's one thing, it would be good of the offense to score 2 runs in 6 innings off Fried for a guy that's got a 1 ERA, but will that be enough when Dylan Cease comes in with a 5.61? Now, it is true he had that really poor start against the A's. You can't take it out, but even if you did, it hasn't been true Cease. That's basically the point. I haven't taken it out, but if you did take it out, it's probably still pushing a 4 ERA, high 3s, 4 ERA. Dylan Cease is capable of being better than that. So we need the vintage Dylan Cease here tonight against this Yankees lineup if the Padres are in fact going to win this series.
Here's Dylan's last 4 starts.
Okay.
After his blow up against the Sacramento, don't call me Oakland A's. 5 2/3, 3 runs allowed, 2 of them were earned. 5 innings, 2 earned runs. 4 1/3 innings, 3 runs, 2 were earned. And his last start, May 2nd, which was this road trip, 4 innings, 2 runs through 91 pitches in 4 innings.
Okay. So he just hasn't been working deep into games.
No. And last month he had 29 strikeouts and 10 walks. His last start, 3 strikeouts, 3 walks against the Pirates. He's not going deep into games. Like if you just added another inning to these outings, if you went 6 2/3, giving up 2 runs, that's considered a good outing. 6 innings, 2 runs, that's a good outing. 5 1/3, 2 runs, that's a good outing. 5 innings, 2 runs, you could take that outing.
Yeah, it is actually more length than overall. Bless you. You have an amazing way of ruining every segment. No kidding.
I really do.
By the way, if you took out the A's game, he's got a 3.64.
Okay.
So it's more based on
everything's fine.
Lacking. No, what's not fine is he isn't working deeper into games.
Right.
If he was working deeper into games, not a 3.64, you would certainly be living with it. But yeah, his ERA is 2 runs higher because of 1 start. Because of the Sacramento start, he'd go from 5.61 to 3.64. But I still think the point stands that he's got to work 5 innings, 5 2/3 innings, 6 innings more often than he has in these other starts.
Yeah, he is the workhorse that was brought over here to San Diego. If you look at just his career numbers, John, dating back to 2021, it's like 165 innings, 184 innings, 177.
Right.
And then last year, 189.
189, wow. And that's in the regular season and some appearances in the postseason.
So he was pushing 200 for sure.
He was.
I don't think he eclipsed that because he didn't go deep in the postseason. He was awful in the postseason for the Padres.
Right.
Awful. But in 7 starts, he's only thrown 33 2/3 innings this year.
Yeah, those innings, to your point, he's not getting to 189 based on what he's done to this point.
Which might not be the worst thing, but you got to make sure you also have outings. If you're not going to go deep into games and you're going to throw a ton of pitches, then you got to go 5 scoreless or 5 with 1 run or 5 2.
Yeah, the Blake Snell effect.
Yeah.
He threw 5 postseason innings last year and allowed 8 earned runs. And that was against the Dodgers in 2 poor outings last year in the postseason. So 194 combined innings. And unless this team makes a deep October run, I don't know if he's touching that because, he's already made 7. Yeah, he might not touch anywhere near where he got last year just based on ineffectiveness. But we'll see. It's a long year. Maybe tonight is the start that gets him going. There's got to be a stretch. You've been making this point. Everyone would make this point. There's got to be a stretch where he makes 6 starts and has a 1.5 ERA. Has to be.
Yep.
This year.
I hope so. That's what the Padres need. And his whip, it's never going to be a whip that's under 1 for him. Every year for him, he's a career 1.27 whip. This year it's 1.6. He's allowed 39 hits and 33 2/3 innings.
Yep.
For comparison, last year in 189 in the 3rd innings, he allowed 137 hits.
Yeah, I think it all boils down to this, and I'm not Ruben Niebla, but he cannot locate pitches, specifically his fastball. Just watch the game. Every time they pop up 4-seam fastball, see where the pitch ends up.
He's already walked 15 guys this year.
Yeah, is it near the catcher's mitt? Is it a ball or a strike? And is he hitting spots? It's one thing to throw a strike. It's another thing to be hitting spots. Michael King yesterday goes, he said to Kevin postgame, I didn't have it. It was just all adrenaline. He's like, I missed middle to Aaron Judge. I don't expect him to make a mistake when I make a mistake. So
we still went 6 and gave up 2.
The thing. That's where King is different than Cease. I feel like when Cease isn't Cease, this year he hasn't been going 6 innings, allowing 2 runs.
He's the right-handed Blake Snell, but just less of a liability and a guy that isn't always injured.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing to say because, I don't think you're trying to offend.
No.
Because Blake Snell's got 2 Cy Youngs.
Right.
There's most every pitcher in the history of the sport does not have 2 Cy Youngs.
I'm saying he's the right-handed Blake Snell because of these points. His command and his stuff is so electric. It's
really good, yeah. And he's not normally effectively wild, though. I feel like this year he's been not even effective, but he's been wild.
But I think you just look at his career whip, and when he's off, he's off. But he does give you innings. Like Blake Snell will never give you innings ever. He'll never give you close to 200 innings in his career.
Right.
Again, never. At least Cease is consistent when he gives you innings, but when he's not giving you innings, you show me the box score for Dylan Cease over his last 4 starts. It's very Blake Snell.
I agree with that. No, I completely agree with that. it's a big year, I would just say in general for Dylan Cease. I wonder, Jim, if he wasn't effective this year, if he didn't live up to his career numbers, let's say it was just a down year.
Yeah.
What does that mean for him in free agency? Maybe not that much. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe you can write it off and say, you know what? Look at my career. I've had good seasons. 2025 wasn't my best. I can still get to 200. I think that to really maximize the contract, though, you're going to have to put together a stretch here to show that you are truly Dylan Cease. And the Padres want that. I want this guy to look like the pitcher we saw at times last year. And that'll make him money, and it'll make the Padres good
now,
better.
If you look at his 2023 year, the year that he was with the White Sox, when the White Sox lost 1 billion games, he's trending towards these kind of numbers this year. 33 starts, okay, 177 innings pitched, but a 4.58 ERA and a WHIP of 1.42. Still 200 plus strikeouts, and he gave up 172 hits that year in 177 innings.
How many strikeouts did you say he has this year in 33 and 2/3 innings?
39.
Yeah, which is still high.
He's on pace if he gets to 160.
To get to 200 strikeouts.
To around 200 strikeouts. Yeah,
right.
He's on that pace, but he's given up way too many hits. He's given up way too many runs. The home runs are,
walks.
3 and 33 is not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, but 15 walks in 33 innings is way too many.
Yeah, 15 walks plus 39 hits. That's
54.
Not good.
And that's where you get the whip.
Yeah.
Pushing closer to 2 than to 1.
Absolutely.
All right. On the other side, again, more on this game, plus a text I want to react to, 70470. You can start your message with the word team if you want to text us at any point, 70470. Start it with the word team. The wrap coming up at 4 p.m. plus the 4 o'clock hour. Your chance to win those Bob Dylan with Willie Nelson tickets. Don't go anywhere. It's Jon and Jim. right, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. The wrap is coming up. Padres Yankees tonight, game 3 of that 3-game series. And the Padres will be off tomorrow. They'll play in Denver against the Rockies Friday through Sunday. Also, next hour, your chance to win those Willie Nelson and Bob Dylan tickets. We'll give those away in the 4 o'clock hour. That's for May 15th. Now, there's a text, Jim.
Okay, you said you wanted to read a text. What do you got?
503. This will come up every time the Padres face Max Fried.
Okay.
Is it too late to trade back Justin Upton for Max Fried? Probably yes. Plus, now Fried signed as a free agent with the Yankees 8 years, like $1 zillion.
You know.
So probably 11 years later, it's a little late. Do you remember the particulars, the full trade from December of 2014, Jim?
I don't remember the full trade, but if someone were to invent a time machine,
would they not make that trade? If they knew what was going to happen on the other side of it?
Could you imagine someone actually invents a time machine and the entire world's watching and like, what's the first place you're going to go back in time to?
The Justin Upton trade.
Yeah, we're not going to have that trade go down.
Justin Upton
or the Max or the Trey Turner trade. We could do that one as well.
Do that. Justin Upton with right-hander Aaron Northcraft. Okay. And the Braves got Max Fried, infielder Dustin Peterson, infielder Jace Peterson, outfielder Malik Smith. That was the trade. That was over a decade ago. Fried's turned into one of the best pitchers in the sport over the last 10 years.
I feel like so much time has passed. All those trades that were made in 2014, like whatever.
You can't worry about it. I mean, listen, they landed Fernando Tatis Jr. in a lopsided trade. They've lost prospects before. Some of those prospects have hit Fried. Mm-hmm. Others have never panned into anything that were highly sought after players. This is the business of being a general manager. You don't get everything perfectly right. And Preller didn't. I mean, we've been critical over the years. Preller had some very lean years in there. Preller has figured out a formula to win right now at the major league level. I know that. Now, has he won a World Series? No. Has he gotten a team to a World Series from his front office? No. But he's having more success at the major league level than he's ever had over these last 2 to 4 years, I would say.
I will say the one player that will hurt a lot.
The one player that will hurt a lot, you're going to tell me, is James Wood?
Absolutely.
Yeah, with the Nationals.
Oh, my goodness.
What has he done to this point?
All right, so he's played in 37 games.
Okay.
Most in baseball. He's got 10 home runs.
Wow.
He's got 23 RBIs. He's hit 271 with a 928 OPS. So he's got 9 doubles on the year, 10 homers, 5 stolen bases. He struck out 43 times, walked 23. His OPS plus is 162.
He's only 22
He's
years
only
old.
22 years old.
Okay, if you could go back in time, speaking of the time machine, because this is way more recent history.
Okay.
And if you could not make the Soto trade.
That will be something that is going to be talked about. Like that exact question.
If you could not make the Soto trade, would you not make it, Padres fans?
So basically,
I don't know.
So basically, you're look, if you, it's like the butterfly effect. Without the Soto trade, it's not like you're just putting James Wood on this exact roster.
Exactly right.
Like, no, you're not. You probably don't get Dylan Cease.
Right.
I don't know if you like
the tentacles.
You don't get Michael King.
Right. And now you have maybe CJ Abrams and you have maybe Mackenzie Gore.
So are those guys going to be as good?
That's the thing. You have no idea. No, I mean, nobody has any way to forecast that. I don't think it's definitive to be like, no way. If I could do it over, I definitely wouldn't do it. I understand making an argument to not do it. Although it's not like the thing was a complete and utter failure. They had a 2022 postseason run. Soto was not maybe 2024 Yankees Soto. Okay.
He wasn't.
But it's still Juan Soto. Like, remember the excitement of landing Juan Soto and what that meant for the fan base, the organization in real time. It was unbelievable.
Another thing is maybe instead of signing Xander Bogaerts in the offseason, you have more money to go out and get more pieces.
Right.
Or you have more money to offer a guy like, I don't know, Aaron Judge, because you did offer him $400 million.
Like that. Now you got Aaron Judge out there.
And James
Wood.
With
Merrill, with Wood, with Toddy. You have an embarrassment of riches.
Wood's your DH.
Yeah.
Merrill's in left, Judge is in center, Toddy's in right. Woo, Manny's at third.
Okay, so
Everything's
when
good.
you put it that way, yeah, I mean it's always interesting to play that game. I'm very careful to be absurdly critical of a general manager based on any one move, knowing how hard it is. Like you're not going to win all of these moves. That includes the New York Yankees and Brian Cashman. Like you don't win every single move that you make. And maybe Preller, I don't know, has Preller lost more than he's won historically? Has he won more than he's lost historically? I don't know. He's got the organization in a decent spot right now, is what I know.
I think he's in a good streak of winning more than he's lost. More specifically with like additions that are off the scrap heap, like dumpster diving additions.
Right.
And I think, like Jeremiah Estrada, that was take a flyer, see what we can do with him, turn it into a very important piece of the bullpen. Traded for Jason Adam. He's a very important piece of the bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
Last year with Profar and with Solano and with Peralta, very good at Higgy, right? Because you made the trade, you added Higgy in there.
How about when they initially acquired Robert Suarez from overseas, right?
Yeah.
He hadn't pitched in the big leagues or in a while. I don't even know if he had pitched in the big leagues.
Yep. We have to give credit where credit's due with drafting and developing Jackson Merrill.
Merrill's like no doubt.
That's a 100% AJ Preller and the scouting department's, crowning achievement there.
It is. They may have gotten, a cornerstone decade-long piece. They may have. That'll play out. But I mean, certainly he's lived up to it to this point.
He has definitely rounded into form as far as not making what the actual F was that move, or a move where the guy immediately goes and helps the other team to the extent where you're like, what did we get back? And the guy that got back does absolutely nothing. No, yeah, James Woods tearing the cover off the baseball now for the Nationals, but you also went to the NLCS with Juan Soto in 2022, and then you parlayed that into getting Michael King, and then you parlayed a part of that trade into getting Dylan Cease.
And you also didn't trade away Jackson Merrill when you could have.
Yes, exactly.
Now, again, maybe you'd have James Wood, but I mean, Jackson Merrill is a cornerstone for the Padres and is very likable. He's become one of the most fan favorite players on the roster, and that's a roster that includes Fernando Tatis Jr. and Manny Machado. So, yes, Preller gets more than passing grades based on what's going on right now. Now let's see what they do in the remainder of 2025. And by the way, come trade deadline, if this team is anything like this team is right now, Preller's going to be super active. He's going to try to go all in. He always goes all in.
And
he'll go further all in.
And just finally, they now will, I believe, have a easily top 5 prospect in all of baseball in Leo DeVries by the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Like there is, how could this kid not be vaulted up into the top 10 at least of prospects in all of baseball?
Probably already there, right? I mean,
well, he was in the
20s.
20s. Yeah.
So I would guess based on what he's done, he's already one of the top 10 prospects in the sport right now.
Might be higher than
in this exact moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's a big deal. We'll see if he's the real deal by the time he reaches the major leagues. We'll get to the wrap coming up to kick off the 4:00 hour. We'll get into these NBA playoffs, which have been utterly insane. Can the Warriors overcome losing Steph Curry for the rest of his career? We'll get that answer coming up in the wrap. Plus, still ahead, your chance to win a pair of tickets to see both Willie Nelson with Bob Dylan May 15th at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. Tickets are available at Ticketmaster.com. We'll let you know how to win those tickets. 2 free tickets to see both Willie Nelson and Bob Dylan May 15th at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. We'll kick off hour 3 with the wrap that comes your way next. This is Jon and Jim.
All right, this update is brought to you by Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag. We'll start with the Padres. They take on the Yankees. Final game of a 3-game series. Moments away from first pitch in the Bronx. Dylan Cease on the mound for the Padres against Max Fried for the Yankees. Padres did make a move today. They recalled Sean Reynolds. He's been activated from the IL. Ryan Bergert has been sent down to AAA El Paso. NBA news of the day, Steph Curry, who left last night's game for the Warriors, suffered a grade 1 hamstring strain. He's going to be out at least a week for the Dubs. Game 2's tonight, Knicks and Celtics, 4 p.m. tip time. Then Thunder and Nuggets, 6:30 tip-off time in OKC. And tonight at 6 p.m., SDFC Midweek Live. 1 full hour of SDFC talk right here on San Diego Sports 760. You know what's better than a limited time deal, John? An unlimited time deal. Like the Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag with a junior bacon cheeseburger, 4-piece nugs, fries, and a small soft drink, because the best time for fresh, never frozen beef and Applewood smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. The best deal, got to be Wendy's. U.S. price and participation may vary.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour 3 of Jon and Jim. We're here until 6 p.m., so halfway home. We'll keep you updated on Padres and Yankees this hour, though. A chance to win those tickets to see both Willie Nelson and Bob Dylan. May 15th, North Island Credit Union Amphitheater tickets at Ticketmaster.com.
Thanks everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Brent, you have the first 2 hours of the show?
Yeah, just hit that replay button.
Run that thing again.
Let's do it.
All right, we'll get to the wrap in a moment. NBA postseason continues tonight with a pair of games that we'll react to. Plus, we'll react to last night. But right now, let's get to this.
It's time for the wrap. Presented by Sombrero Mexican Food. Check out their website at sombreromex.com.
Can the Warriors win the series without Steph? No.
No.
We made a bet last night. He said Steph will not appear in the series. Want to make a bet? It's for a sushi roll. I said, yeah, I'll make that bet. I think Steph will appear again in this series. In fact, he will appear again in this series. There are 4 days off between games 5 and 6. If it goes 6 and the Warriors don't win in 5, he'll have 4 additional days. From May 14th to May 18th, you can thank your new WNBA team in Northern California because they're playing 1 or 2 of those days.
Oh, cool.
So because of that, Steph gets more time to get ready for game 6. He will appear. I will buy the most expensive sushi roll in the history of San Diego. It's going to have all kinds of toppings on it.
Gold on it?
Yeah, it's good. Silver, gold, bronze rolls is what I'm ordering. And I'm going to do it for, I think he'll return for game 5. I think he'll be back for game 5.
I hope you're right, but I don't have much faith in it.
It's not like his leg fell off.
No, it's not. But he's 37 years old. He's not 27 years old. And this is his first muscle strain his entire career.
How is that possible?
Because he's so in shape and he's so conditioned, because he runs around the court so much. He is one of the, like, the way his game is, a hamstring strain is like literally the worst thing. like legitimately, I'd rather have had him had a bum ankle than a bum hammy. Honestly,
should he just hang him up? This series is going 6+ games. He will be back. That's
what I have to say about this series. I'm not like, the Warriors aren't winning, but
here we go.
What I took away from game 1 was, even when the Timberwolves move on to the Western Conference Finals, there is no shot for them to beat the Nuggets or the Thunder, because they are so mentally weak and such a soft franchise.
If they're mentally weak and soft franchise, why can't the Warriors win 3 of the next 6 games?
Because Steph Curry's not playing.
Have you ever watched the Warriors? Did you see Buddy Hield? He makes Steph Curry look like a sixth man.
And I know the Buddy Hield cycle where it's like Buddy Hield is amazing for like 3 or 4 games.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's like, Buddy Hield, what the F, bro? And
all you need is another 3 or 4 games. What do you got?
Barkley said on postgame last night, too, that a lot of it is going to depend on, since they got a serious lead already, they can afford to sit him out next game, obviously. Mm-hmm. But say they win game 2, they can afford to keep sitting him out. So
they're going to lose game 2 by
I think they'll lose game
40
2.
points.
But I do think they'll find a way to win at home without him.
Just one game they have to win.
Yes, exactly. And then from there, they need to get Steph back.
Like winning one of the next 3 is the goal for sure. They do that. They get to a game 5. And even if they lose a game 5, you're still in it going back to Minnesota. Or no, sorry, coming back home for game 6. And then you would go back to Minnesota for game 7.
This would be a long series. And the Warriors, even without Steph, are capable of winning games. They do have Jimmy Butler, and Buddy Hield has been good. And Minnesota isn't invincible. It'll be a long series.
Did you see what their coach today? I think his name's, what's his first name? I don't know his first name. Something Finch.
Okay.
Oh my God. He was complaining that the Warriors were too physical in game 1. I'm like, bro, did you see? Have you watched the postseason?
I thought the Warriors played really good defense.
Yeah. And he's like, Rudy Gobert is the most disrespected player in the league. I'm like, are you kidding me right now?
Yo, you're mad. Anyway, buy me that sushi roll because he's playing. Next question.
Utah's NHL team will officially be named the Utah Mammoth. Do you like the name? I like the logo.
Logo's pretty cool. I like the colors. They kind of copied the Sharks as far as like their
did they?
Style of
because of
jersey.
Like the stick in the logo, you're saying, like the hockey stick
in the logo, the colors. I know that the Sharks are like a teal.
It's more teal, the Sharks.
But
what's this, a light blue? Would you say Carolina-ish blue?
Yeah. But the jerseys kind of resemble what like if you just kind of like squinted your eyes, you're like, it looks a little Sharks like. I like them a lot. They're cool. Wish was happening here in San Diego.
It's not. I have very strong reactions to team names. Here are my rules. If I was starting a team,
Mammoths,
I want an S. Okay, I want the name to finish. I need a plural name. I hate names that don't end with an S. I just do. Like, what's another? The Orlando Magic. Here's the other thing.
Why do you hate the San Diego FC?
I want something. Well, they don't have a name.
The San Diego FC. I'm just an idiot.
Why do you hate SDFC? Well, they don't have a nickname.
I know.
Soccer's a little different.
Soccer's different.
But here's the other thing. I want something that's tangible. I want to be able to wrap my arms around it. Like an animal, like Mammoth. Okay, it's real. I hate when they're like, let's go Dash. That's a minor league baseball team. Like, what is that? I want like an animal. And a plural name animal, like bulldogs, kitty cats. That's way better than like Magic. What's Magic?
What's the worst name? Is it the Magic? What's the worst name in professional sports?
I love that question.
So would you be in a conundrum?
I don't like Thunder.
If they went sheep?
Sheep? No, because I need the S.
I know. That's why I was figuring out there.
I mean, Thunder was not good, in my opinion. By the way, Wizards wasn't good. You're in the nation's capital. That's the best you can do. Now they have the S.
Yeah.
But I don't like Thunder. What do you give me one?
What are you thinking of? Like all sports?
Sure, sports.
There's like the 4 major sports.
Sure.
Actually, I can't think of one right now.
That was really good.
I hate the Dodgers.
That's great.
What are you dodging? I mean,
yeah. What's a Dodger?
Dodger.
Anyways?
What's a Dodger?
It's a trolley Dodger, right? Yeah. You know what that is? Next question. We're not getting it. Next question.
Who's the best team left in the Eastern Conference?
That would be your wife's Indiana Pacers.
She loves the Pacers.
Why does she love the Pacers?
Because she grew up in Indianapolis for a portion of time.
That game last night, Tyrese Halliburton.
That was his
Halliburton.
Okay, not only was Halliburton awesome there late, but that was an epic choke. Because I watched it play out in real time. You cannot lose a game the way they lost the game. From the Donovan Mitchell offensive foul, he gets hurt. They throw the ball away in the front court. Halliburton gets his own miss. I mean, there were 3 or 4 things in the final minute that can never happen. They all happened. And then for Halliburton to hit that shot,
that had some onions.
Yeah, that wasn't just some spot up catch and shoot.
No, and then he saw him do the
off the dribble onion reaction.
Yeah, the Serrano or not
from like Major League.
Yeah,
come on.
No, there's the Japanese guy. That's Major League 2. Get it right, guys.
Oh yeah,
sorry.
That's right. What do you got, Brett?
Now he's distracted by Major League.
Next question.
Next question.
Will Dylan Cease go 6 innings tonight?
Yes.
Right. It doesn't say if he allows 4 runs or 1 run. 6. Yeah, I'll bet on Cease tonight.
Okay.
I'll play that game with you. I think he can go 6. 6 is an 8, right? I mean, he should be going 6 innings, even against a good lineup like the New York Yankees. And they do have a good lineup, and this ballpark's tough to pitch in. You know what I want to see from the Padres tonight is a home run.
I would love that.
Like they hit the ball over the wall between the foul poles.
Like the ball,
not out of bounds.
There's like a fence in the outfield, and if the ball goes over that fence, that's off the bat of a player wearing a Padres uniform.
That's what I want to see.
I do too. I want to see that.
In fact, I want to see it twice tonight. Am I asking for too much? Probably.
How about 3 times?
That's freed. I would absolutely
How about
sign up
2
right now for
times?
2 home. I might take 1, truthfully.
How about
with the way
1
it's pitched,
time?
right?
I would take 1 time.
So we're asking for 6 innings from Dylan Cease.
Not a lot.
We're asking for a home run or so.
Not a lot.
From the San Diego Padres.
Asking for a series win. Off day tomorrow. How you doing? Off to Colorado.
Here's the thing. We were saying, I thought you made a good point last night.
I did.
Someone clipped that. I thought Jim made a good point. You know, even if they didn't win this game tonight, again, not ideal. You'd like to win this game. You can still, quote unquote, easily win 6+ games on this trip. You'd be 4-2.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to Denver, where the Rockies have not been good.
Right.
Like newsflash,
they suck.
Even 2 out of 3 there, Jim, is a 6-3 trip, which is tough to say no to, even with the start. And by the way, let's say you swept the Rockies. I mean, even with the loss tonight, you could go 7-2 on this trip, and it's not crazy to imagine that happening this upcoming weekend.
No, you did what you absolutely needed to do in Pittsburgh. And even if they lose tonight, you're right. You go to Colorado. It is a little bit of a house of horrors.
I agree.
Anything can happen there, but they have played the Rockies so much better recently, dating back to where they got swept by them last year. Second half of the season into this year, where they've swept them already and it was an historical sweep. They have a chance to still have a fantastic road trip, even if they lose tonight. You're right.
Yeah. Now, am I expecting them to go to Colorado, like you said, with the House of Horrors and sweep? I'm really not. I don't go into any series in the major leagues thinking like, oh, yeah, especially on the road. You're not just like, oh, they're definitely going to sweep them. And that's why you made the point earlier in the week. These people are like,
was it another good point by me?
You somehow have made 2 good points in the last month.
What?
Or in the last decade.
I just keep making good points.
The
after
other
good
point
points.
you made was when they swept the Pirates, it is freaking Twilight Zone. You said when they swept the Pirates, you're like, people had a problem with it because the Pirates aren't good. Like, well, they didn't beat anyone good.
Like, go beat some
Well, what's
good
your
teams.
preference? They don't sweep the Pirates?
Yeah. If they don't sweep the Pirates, then you're going to be pissed off because they didn't sweep the Pirates.
Like, okay, Pittsburgh isn't great. It's still not easy to sweep a team in their building. It's not easy to sweep anyone anywhere.
Right. It's I don't want to say it's the hardest thing to do in baseball because there's obviously,
but it's hard.
It's for a team to go on the road and sweep. It's difficult.
Mm-hmm.
It just is, no matter who you play. And when they faced the Rockies earlier this year, there was some of that in that series after they swept them. It's like, oh, it's the Rockies. They don't even really count. What are you talking about?
What does that mean?
They absolutely count, even though they're the worst team in baseball. The Padres lost a game last year to the historically awful White Sox.
Was that at the very end of the year?
It was.
Yeah.
But still, that
I remember.
And the Padres were in the midst of like the best stretch in franchise history, and they still lost to a team that set a record in baseball for most losses in a season.
They were swept at home last year early by the Rockies,
Yes, they
who
were.
lost 100 games.
So sweeping a team in baseball in a 3-game series, 2-game series, different.
Yeah, different. You got to sometimes do that.
Yeah.
But like 3+ games, those
Yeah.
4-game series?
4-game series are,
Like, come
you're
on.
asking for a lot there to
Yeah.
sweep a team in a 4-game series. Rarely do you see that in baseball.
I don't even know if they've had a 4-game series so far this year. They did. They swept Atlanta to start the year.
They did. So it's hard to do.
Yep.
And if and when they do those things, those should be celebrated. Like you celebrate sweeps, you celebrate series wins, and you do not at all poo-poo it and view it as, well, that team's not really good anyway. Like, what are you talking about?
Completely agree with that. We'll keep you updated on Padres and Yankees, but on the other side, is it a bigger night tonight for the Celtics at home or the Thunder at home as the NBA playoffs get back underway in the second round? Stay with us, Jon and Jim. All right, Jon and Jim back with you. We've got those Willie Nelson, Bob Dylan tickets we'll give away later this hour. As they say in the NBA, it's hard to win on the road, except it hasn't been. There have been 5 round 2 games, 2 in the Pacers-Cavs series, 1 in every other series. all 5 games have been won by the road team. Now, the Celtics tonight trailing 0-1 are playing the Knicks right now midway through the first quarter and leading 13-4. Then the nightcap tonight,
Game over.
Thunder Nuggets. Has any team ever come back from 9 down? I mean, like, unbelievable.
It really
Padres couldn't come back from 9 down last night.
A little different.
How so?
You can't shoot
9.
you can't shoot 3-pointers in baseball.
Well, they haven't even hit a 3-run home run this year. Did you realize that?
Are you serious?
Not one 3-run home run or 4-run home run.
Season's over.
Which is called a grand slam. Anyway, Celtics lead the Knicks.
Homer.
Celtics lead the Knicks and Thunder play the Nuggets. Can anyone come back from 0-2 down, losing the first 2 games at home?
Yes, they can.
But this would that happen in your mind? If, let's say, all 4 of those teams went down 0-2. It's not happening because the Warriors aren't winning game 2.
They're not winning game 2.
But if the Celtics were down 0-2 to the Knicks, could they win that series in your mind?
The Celtics were down 0. Yes.
And if the Thunder were down 0-2 to the Nuggets, could they win that series?
Yes. But I would have, I know where you're going with this. I would have much more faith in the Celtics than I would the Thunder. Celtics have been there. They're championship tested. They have veterans all up and down their roster, Olympians on their roster, all-stars. Not saying that OKC doesn't have all-stars and Olympians, but the thing with the Thunder is what?
How many Olympians do they have?
I don't know why I
feel
said
good
that.
about them coming back from 0-2, man.
Well, I just was like
I
saying
got that Olympian from Greece.
I was
What are you talking about?
I was just saying with like Jason Tatum, he's an all-star, he's an Olympian.
No, I agree on Celtics.
The first thing they say for the team,
like they got a lot of Olympians.
They have an Olympian on the team.
Oh, great.
I don't know, dude.
I don't know either.
I'm looping.
How many Olympians are on these teams? I don't even know, depending on like the nation. But
play for Lithuania.
Okay, let me ask you this. There is no world where the Cavs are winning this Pacers series, correct?
No, there's a world. Cavs
I
are
can't see
good,
it, man. But the Cavs are so banged up.
I know. And if they
Including
get
Donovan Mitchell last night.
I know he what did happen to him? I didn't even see what happened.
He like went down hard.
Is he an Olympian too?
Was he an Olympian?
I don't know. They don't have any Olympians on their team. They're
That's
not
why
winning.
they're down 0-2.
They're not winning.
And Halliburton's an Olympian.
Halliburton's an Olympic
Of course he
gold
hit that
medalist,
shot.
dude. Come on, man. Even though he played no minutes in the Olympics.
Mitchell had like a leg thing that looked bad. But then they've been dealing with what? Garland has been out. Darius Garland, point guard. Hunter's been out. So they're dealing with injuries. Plus, I just think Indiana's good. And now Indiana's going home. Indiana gets 1 of 2. They're winning the series. They go up 3-1. They're going to win the series.
Yeah,
Because then they're getting another home game out of it. So I feel like the Cavs are in trouble. I don't feel as if the Celtics or Thunder right now are in trouble. I would say the same thing about the T-Wolves because they have the benefit of Steph's injury.
Yeah.
I think if Steph's 100% healthy and the Warriors win the way they win last night, I think the T-Wolves are in a load of trouble.
I do too. Or I did.
If he was fully healthy.
Yeah, if he was fully healthy. Because what you saw in that first game that really benefited the Warriors was they were battle tested and they were ready for the physicality after that Rocket series.
Mm-hmm.
That Rocket series was a war, and the T-Wolves are nowhere close physically like the Rockets are. Their physicality, their defense, not even close. They're a good defensive team because they got Rudy Gobert and Anthony Edwards and Jaden McDaniels, but they're not close to what they saw from the Rockets defensively. And so with that, I feel like they were just the Warriors almost felt when Steph was out there, he was primed to have a huge series. Like he had 13 points in I think 12 minutes. And
even the play that had him leave the game,
he still made a bucket.
Yeah, he's like, I don't even want to be playing, but they played on, and he just like drove to the basket and scored.
Yeah. So I hate it that Steph's injured, obviously, because obviously I'm a Warriors fan, but I also hate it because we're not going to see Steph in the postseason potentially again. And
well, hopefully just this year.
Well, this year, that's what I mean. This year, and they were primed to win that series.
He's coming back. And it's going to be like Willis Reed with the Knicks. He's coming back. He's going to make a big impact.
It just sucks, dude, because it's like they stole game one, which is what you want to do as a road team, right? You still game one. And not only do you still game one, you still game one without Steph.
What's the betting line for this series now?
It's definitely in favor of the T-Wolves. I think they're a 10.5 point favorite at home on Thursday night.
Okay. I'm just trying to find it.
If the Timberwolves don't win by 30 plus points tomorrow,
you'll be surprised.
That's a bad sign for the T-Wolves.
If
it's a close win tomorrow for the T-Wolves, oh man.
Listen to
that's
this.
A bad sign for them.
I got all 4 series odds that I'm going to share on the other side right now at this time. Odds based on where the series are. Okay. So don't head to your betting parlor yet.
Right.
But I want to discuss these on the last thing you want to do is change the dial.
Right.
Okay. It's the last thing you're going to want to do. Plus, we have Willie Nelson and Bob Dylan tickets to give away later this hour. We are here until, you know what? And we're also going to share a conversation, by the way, with a local SDFC product. But we'll do that in the 5 o'clock hour, Jim. Why don't we do that?
5 o'clock hour?
We'll do that in the 5 o'clock hour.
Like
but I do want to share these odds on the other side, plus give away Willie Nelson and Bob Dylan tickets in the 5 o'clock hour. You'll hear from Milan Iloski, who joined us earlier, SDFC forward, who scored his first career goal this past Saturday. Stay with us, Jon and Jim. All right, hey guys, it is Jon and Jim again for the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. We remind you this May, you've got a chance to win big every single Monday night. One lucky winner each week will also be driving home. Listen to this, a brand new Ford Mustang Mach-E. That's every Monday in May. You can earn entries all month long just by playing. And on Tuesdays, you can earn 2-time entries.
Mother's Day's this weekend, guys. So go to Jamul Casino for Mother's Day brunch at Prime Cut. Show mom just how much she means to you with a decadent brunch from 10:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. featuring lobster tails and hand-carved prime rib. Make her day extra special with a meal that you know she'll love.
So that's coming up this weekend. So is UFC 315. This is Saturday night, 7 p.m. You can catch it at Tony Gwynn Sports Pub, Loft 94, also in their poker room. It's the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players Place.
This update's brought to you by the Jim Patrell Real Estate Team. Padres Yankees underway in the Bronx. Scoreless, top of the second inning there. Sean Reynolds has been activated off the IL. Ryan Bergert sent down to AAA El Paso. NBA playoff action happening right now in Boston. Game 2 between the Celtics and the Knicks. Celtics lead 24-11 with 36 seconds left in the first quarter. Game 2 tonight, Thunder and Nuggets, tips off at 6:30 p.m. And tonight, 6 p.m., SDFC Midweek Live, 1 full hour of SDFC talk right here on San Diego Sports 760. Would you like to know what your home would sell for today? Get a simple text message with your home's value by texting your address to 855-600-6000. You'll get no phone call, just a text. Jim Patrell has the buyer. Simply text your address to 855-600-6000.
All right, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. They just showed a shot in the crowd at Yankee Stadium.
Who is that, John?
Well, you said it. I wouldn't have known, but I remember Emma Stone, right? The actress,
Yes.
and her husband.
Huge Padres fans.
Now, she is wearing a pretty cool Padres hat. So is her husband. He's got like the old school, like 69, 70 era SD. You know what I mean? Like the crunched SD. It's not as big.
I feel like she's wearing a hat from Billions, the Billions store.
I was going to say the same thing. It's like it had a little bit of a red, white, and blue feel to it, like Americana. Don't you think? It's like a navy hat with a red bill and a white S. Or is that orange, Jim? Is that orange?
It's orange.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's more of a 98 look maybe than
but it
red.
looks more
red in
reddish.
that shot.
Yeah. Maybe it's just the
But it's a
camera.
cool hat.
Yeah.
And they're like sitting out with the people. Like they're not in the suites.
Well, they are first row behind the plate.
Oh, it's tough. That's tough living.
Tough living for them.
And it's like a nice night, it looks like, in New York, finally.
I know.
Her husband's from the town where I lived before I moved out here.
Who's the diehard initial Padre fan? Is it her or her husband? I thought it was her husband.
It's him, I think.
Yeah, I thought.
It might have. Well, doesn't matter. They're both.
No, but I'm curious. Like, where's the association come from? Is it her husband or is it her? Does someone know the answer to that?
I don't know.
Remember, we tried to get her on the radio.
Oh yeah, that worked.
That didn't work out.
No, we didn't get her on. We tried to get her husband on.
And he was like, "No chance in hell."
He's like, "No." And then the comedian from Saturday
He's like,
Night
"Are you?
Live
Wait, are you?"
Was with him too.
Oh, you're Jon and Jim. I thought no. There's no chance in hell.
Zero chance.
All right, I have updated NBA playoff odds.
Oh, great!
So everyone's still in their garage.
I bet
Turn
they
your
are.
car off if you're in the garage.
Yeah, don't leave.
What are the Lakers odds?
The Lakers odds are not good. Not this year. All right, so the Knicks lead the Celtics 1-0, right?
And it's going to be tied.
Guess what the series odds were coming into tonight? Like the Celtics are what to win the series? Minus, plus what? You're not good with this, probably.
I'm not good with this.
Celtics are what? Down 1-0 to win the series.
Still a minus 130.
How about 375?
Gee, that's a lot.
Still
I'm an
like a
idiot.
heavy
I don't know what I'm talking
4-1
about.
favorite. All right, Pacers up 2-0. What are the Pacers to win the series?
They're now probably favored at minus 150.
Minus 190.
Okay.
But not as heavy of a favorite as the Celtics, who are down a game.
I'm getting closer on these odds.
You're doing good. Nuggets lead the Thunder 1-0. What is the series odds?
Minus 220 for the Thunder.
320 still. And the Warriors lead the T-Wolves 1-0. What is the series odds?
T-Wolves minus 700.
No, really.
Minus 300. Minus 200.
They are minus 200 to win the series.
Yeah.
Minnesota.
It's crazy because, like, you know, it's the NBA, right? These guys are all NBA players and they're all really, really good.
Yeah,
right?
that's a fact.
It's a fact.
It is the NBA.
But I'm already doing it. We're already just saying, like, oh, T-Wolves, they're going to win easily at minimum 3 more times the next 4 games. Warriors are going to have to, like, try and steal one somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the goal, is like just winning 1 game of the next 4. Like, are we just going to assume
their goal is to win 1 of the next 5?
Are we just assuming?
Let's just try to lose 4 games to 2. Our goal is to lose.
No, their goal is to win one of the next 4, because that would mean you get to game 6 down 3-2. But hopefully that's when Steph would be like closer to 100%.
No, the goal is to win 1 of the next 3. Because with 1 of the next 3, you're tied 2-2, and then Steph, even according to Shams, and we have the audio, If he misses a week, could be back for game 5.
No.
So the goal is one of the next 3. It's 2-2. They're going back to Minnesota. Steph plays, drops 44. They win by 19.
Their goal is for them to win one of the next 6 games.
Exactly. Just the goal is to make the series go 5.
Right.
And lose 4 games to 1.
Well, even if even when the T-Wolves do win this series, like they're not ready. They are not ready at all to take that next step.
Like you're giving them, if it was against the Thunder, you give them no shot.
I give them no shot against either
Nuggets,
the Thunder, both teams,
right?
Nuggets and the Thunder.
Are the Nuggets going to win a title with their interim head coach?
That would be amazing.
I mean, it's not that impossible. At this,
I don't even know who their interim head coach's name is.
Who? Yeah, I have
no clue. But when you have Joker and he's putting up just insane numbers, and he is the best player in the world. When you have the best player in the world on your team putting up 40-point triple doubles, you're gonna have a chance.
Right? He's an Olympian. Like an Olympian.
How many Olympians do they have on the team?
Who'd you say? Well, they have Jamal Murray.
They do.
Canadian Olympian, right?
Was Russell Westbrook an Olympian at one point?
No, but Russell Westbrook was. I can't deal right now.
Me and Darnay are going to literally beat you up.
No, what happened we'll get into Darnay another time. We have Willie Nelson and Bob Dylan tickets we'll give away later this hour. If you missed our conversation earlier, this show is going off.
What is happening?
I don't know.
Stupid.
You do this long enough.
So stupid.
Milan Iloski.
The San Diego kid.
No, that's not what I said. So I said if you missed our conversation earlier with
the San Diego kid,
the youngster.
The youngster from San Diego.
That's not what I said.
He's a professional soccer player.
I know.
He's like
and I'm
12 years old.
Milan Iloski,
the youngster from San Diego. He's like 25 years old, dude.
I have to listen back
26. The young player from San Diego.
That's hilarious.
Like, huh? What are you talking about?
I don't know, dude. Anyway, so would you still then be surprised if any of the teams that lead in the series you think, okay, let me guess. You think Pacers win the series, Thunder win the series, Celtics win the series, T-Wolves win the series? That's kind of what you don't think that?
I think the Pacers are going to win the series against the Cavs. I think the Celtics are going to win the series against the Knicks. I think the T-Wolves are going to win the series against the Warriors. And I think the Nuggets are going to upset the Thunder.
I definitely could see your point on the Nuggets with all that experience, having won a title, and they've got the best player in the world.
I think the NBA Finals are going to be the Pacers and the Denver Nuggets.
You did tell me that last night. You did say
that's my pick right now.
By the way, I think it'll be a good series.
Yeah.
Now, would it be the sexiest? No.
No.
Would you have Steph? No. Would you have the Lakers? No. You don't have the Celtics. It wouldn't have those ratings. I think that could be a really good series.
You'd have a bunch of Olympians out there.
That's what the NBA is looking for.
That's how they market it.
I don't know. I thought like Oklahoma City completely threw away game 1. It's like, can you overcome that against a good team? Like Denver's a legit team. It's been through this before. Can you throw away a game against a good team?
Well, we're going to find out. And it just, for a team like the Thunder, who didn't really face any adversity in the regular season, like at all.
Right.
Those teams worry me. And especially because they're like so young. If the Thunder were coming off an NBA title last year, I would not be worried at all.
Right.
But they did not have a good postseason last year.
No, what happened? Did they lose in the first round or the second round last year? Because they had a really good regular season, right? I think it was the second round. We'll look it up.
Was it against the Nuggets?
I don't know, but they also had like a 60-win year, did they not, last year? They were really good last year because I remember us talking about it. They won a division title in 2024.
Oh, division title.
I didn't even know there were divisions, truthfully.
No one cares
Still
about
in the
division
NBA.
titles in the NBA.
But
division title.
I mean, that I'm saying that they were good. Let's see. In 2024, they were 57-25. They lost the conference semis to the Mavs 4 games to 2.
Luka torched them.
Yep. So they lost in this round, in the second round. So they're expected, obviously, to get by this round with the year they just had.
Yeah, they're a team that has the expectation of winning an NBA title without ever winning an NBA title.
Or even getting close
to an NBA title. And oh, by the way, they're still a very young basketball team. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do now facing adversity after blowing game one like they did the other night. If tonight the Thunder go in there, or excuse me, the Nuggets go in there and Jokic puts up another 30 point, 20 rebound, 15 assist game, like good luck. Because right now there's nobody on the Thunder that can guard Jokic. Like literally nobody.
Right. Which is why actually I am surprised that tonight the Thunder are 10.5-point favorites tonight. They were also, I think, 9 or 10-point favorites in game one.
They are a fantastic basketball team.
Right.
But the postseason is a different animal, man.
Yeah, and we've been learning that.
I mean, just look at the Warriors in 2016. They won 73 freaking games. They should have cakewalked to the finals. And guess what? They didn't.
No, I thought they did go cakewalk to the finals. They didn't cakewalk, but they went to the finals?
They were down 3-1 to the Thunder. They had to come back and win that series. And then they
Was this the year they lost the Cavs?
Yeah, it was the year they blew the 3-1 lead.
Remember that?
Oh, I remember that.
But that is a good point. How do you lose 9 games in the regular season and not win an NBA title?
Well, that Thunder team that year was also very good with KD and Westbrook and Ibaka.
Is there a 30 for 30 on that?
I don't want a 30 for 30 on that.
I know, but I'd watch it.
No, you wouldn't.
Probably not. All right, on the other side, call right now if you want 2 free tickets to see both Willie Nelson and Bob Dylan right here in San Diego a week from tomorrow night, May 15th. We have 2 free tickets to see Willie Nelson with Bob Dylan May 15th, a week from tomorrow night at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater here in San Diego. Tickets are available at Ticketmaster.com. If you want those tickets, call right now, 877-767-4760. The number to call is 877-767-4760. First 2 callers will be our contestants, so pick up the phone and call right now if you want 2 free tickets to see Willie Nelson with Bob Dylan. Again, the number to call, 877-767-4760. Call now. That's next, Jon and Jim. All right, caller 2 has dropped off. So who wants to play Cliff for a chance to win 2 free tickets to see both Willie Nelson and Bob Dylan here in San Diego? It's a week from tomorrow night. All you need to do is call right now, 877-767-4760. Call right now if you want to play Cliff. We'll play trivia for a chance to win 2 free tickets, Willie Nelson and Bob Dylan in San Diego. How many opportunities are you going to have for that? Call right now if you want those tickets, 877-767-4760. Why are you guys not looking at me and laughing? 877-767-4760. That is a fair question. How many more chances are you going to have to see Willie Nelson and Bob Dylan in San Diego?
Not many.
Won't be that many.
They're the lines. They're the callers.
Only
because
a couple
they
more.
recognize what I'm saying. Like, Steph ain't gonna play forever, Jim.
Well, Bob Dylan won't be living forever.
I'm not
Willie
saying
Nelson.
That. I'm just saying all good things do come to ends.
Yes, life does come to an end.
I mean, I hate to say it like that, but yeah, you're right.
But also good things too.
Also good things come to an end.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll play that in a moment as Brent is taking the call. We'll play trivia for a chance to win those tickets. If you missed our conversation earlier, Milan Iloski, SDFC forward, scored his first career Major League Soccer goal. He's out of Escondido. You'll hear from him coming up at 5:30. Plus, updates from the Bronx, where the Padres and Yankees are scoreless right now in the top of the third inning. Matchup, Jim, pitching matchup, living up to its billing. Dylan Cease, Max Fried.
Dylan's been pitching well. He was pumped. He was up to 98 on the fastball. So far, so good. Got a little bit of a pitcher's duel brewing here in the Bronx. All right, see if they can scratch across a couple runs here and make it hurt.
You talk about a series win. If you do it through Max Fried, at Yankee Stadium would be an incredible, really good series win. All right, we'll get back to that conversation in the 5 o'clock hour, but right now, let's get to this.
All right, 3 questions, 2 contestants, 1 lifeline. Today's 2 contestants, we have Cliff and we have Stuart. Cliff, you called in first, so you have your choice of John or Jim. Who do you want to go with?
I'll go with John.
All right, perfect.
All right,
Cliff, you get John. Stuart, you get Jim, okay?
That'll work.
Okay, that'll work.
Sounds really excited about it.
Yeah. Brent, what's the question of the day?
Who else is going to call him for Bob Dylan and, whatever?
Bob Dylan and whatever, exactly. Brent, what is the question?
All right, guys, the NFL draft was just about a week and a half ago now. Did you know that there was 6 states that had at least 10 players drafted this goes by their high school?
High school?
No, that's fine. It's name a state. You guys should be fine.
Maria Correa High School.
So you don't need to know the high school, Jim. You're going to confuse them. So today's question: name any of the 10 states or the 6 states that had at least 10 players drafted.
Lower Marion. I know.
Stop before we start. Because go over the rules, Jim.
Okay.
And stop.
Okay.
Please.
All right. I'm sorry. All right. My bad. Stuart's going to be up first. Stuart, what is your first guess? Name me states.
A state that had a lot of players drafted.
Yeah.
So 6 states. Okay, so I have to name 6 states.
No. Just name one at a time.
One at a
back
time.
and forth.
Okay. California.
California. That's a good guess.
All right. Cliff, you're up. What is your first guess? You do have a lifeline
right.
if you want to use it.
All right. How about Colorado?
Colorado. No. Stuart.
Damn it.
Stuart, you're
Florida.
Florida. Cliff, back to you.
All right, Cliff.
What do you got?
All right.
I'm going to get my tickets. Woohoo.
Alabama. Is Alabama, the state of Alabama, on the list? All right, this is over. That's 2-0 ball game over. Who's the winner?
That's Stuart.
Stuart. All right. Couple of things. I don't know if the contestants were thinking states like where the colleges are.
Probably that's what they're
because the College of Alabama is going to have a lot of draft picks. Maybe he's thinking CU, Colorado. Had draft picks.
Yeah, you got.
They had 9. He just missed it.
Okay.
So that's close.
But you were looking for out of these states as prep players.
Yes.
Yeah, like California, Florida, Texas, of course. Pennsylvania's my guess on there.
No for Pennsylvania.
I'll give you one. Georgia.
Yep.
Atlanta or no?
Atlanta's the city.
Jesus.
Yes, the state of Atlanta.
Oh, God.
How many Olympians on these NFL teams?
Oh,
How many played for Team Paris?
oh my goodness.
Would Arizona be on the list?
No. Number 1 was Texas. They had 37 players.
I could.
Pretty much all you had to do was just name recruiting pipeline states. Florida was second. They had 26. Georgia had 22. Then California was 16. And then Louisiana and Virginia both had 10.
That was fun for some. That was ridiculous.
I thought you were asking for like high schools. I was like, oh boy, here we go.
That is hilarious. No, that'd be impossible. Certain things that are literally impossible.
Let's just make this the hardest giveaway we've ever made in our entire life.
All right, congratulations. You've won a pair of tickets to see Willie Nelson and Bob Dylan. By the way, Billy Strings as well. He's not getting the same hype. I've been hyping up both Willie Nelson and Bob Dylan. Billy Strings as well. Sierra Hull will be there as well. May 15th is a week from tomorrow. North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. Get your tickets right now at Ticketmaster.com. Like I like to say, how many more chances are you going to get to see both Willie Nelson and Bob Dylan in San Diego?
Not a lot.
All right, update from the Bronx. No score. Dylan Cease on the mound. Bottom 3. Yankees, Padres.
What's the update in this Celtics?
Knicks game? What is the update there? Celtics have led throughout. Their lead right now is 10. 4 minutes to play in the first half at the TD Garden in Boston.
I want to see how many threes the Celtics have shot so far in this game.
Probably 40.
Close. They're halfway there. They're 4 for 19 from 3.
And leading by 10 on 4 of 19 shooting from 3. Wow.
Yeah, they're shooting 38% from the field.
What did you tell me the other night? They were 15 of 60?
They were 15 of 60.
Yeah, 25%. And they still nearly won the game.
The problem is the Knicks are 2 for 11 from 3. And they're shooting 34% from the field so far. So not that great.
Not great. Complete must win. It's just for the Celtics. It just is. Not going down 0-2 and feeling good. So I'm calling it a must win for the Celtics.
Must win.
Right?
Must win. I don't know, man. I look,
maybe not.
Celtics, even with missing 45 threes in game 1,
nearly won.
Still almost won that game.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight, not great start from 3, 4 for 19.
Up 10.
And they're up 10.
Right. So what about the night? To your point, there's going to be a night they make 20 of 41.
No, they'll shoot more than that. So they'll make like 27 threes.
Right. 27 of 55.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're going to win by 29 points that game.
Yep.
So yeah, that's probably coming as
well. It's like a sleeping giant almost, where when they're on and when they're making their threes, they're impossible to beat. Just impossible to beat.
I mean, and coming off an NBA Finals a year ago, maybe they are still the favorite. I mean, the overall favorite to win it all. Even down.
I would say right now, yes.
Just because they've been there.
Experience. Olympians.
All those Olympians, yeah.
But mostly just, experience. And coming off an NBA title last year, I would still put them as the favorite right now.
I mean, they go back to back, dude. That would be
would be pretty good
for them.
Well, that's what they've built. They've built a team and they've built a roster where just one championship's kind of not enough. Like Steph beat them in 2022, and then they had not a down year, but they just kind of had a disappointing finish in the postseason in 23. They won a title in 24. Now in 25, they're looking to go back to back. Like, yeah, I think this is a team that absolutely could do it if they stay healthy. Porzingis is a guy that if he's out there, they're kind of, almost impossible to beat. But Porzingis got hurt in game 1 and he's not out there tonight. So we'll see.
So if I was 30 years old and I grew up in Boston, so I would have been born then in 1995.
You have every single title.
I got I got 08 Celtics. I have 24 Celtics. Who knows about 25? I have how many rings did Brady? How many did he get? 6 or 7?
Well, he had 7, John, but he had after
06 with New England.
Okay, so after 06?
No, but I'm saying I was born in 95, so like in my lifetime, in my fandom.
You saw like what, 5 titles?
Of all the sports or all the
you saw 5 Super Bowls,
2 Celtics rings.
No, 4 Super Bowls.
Wait, no, Brady won more than 4 with New England.
No, I know he did, but like you're telling me when you were born, right?
I'm saying if I was born in 95, I would have experienced all these Super Bowls.
Oh,
right?
yeah. If you're born in 95, you would have experienced 7 Super Bowls. You
Not
would have
7 because he didn't win one. He won one in Tampa.
6 Super Bowls. My bad. You would have experienced 6 Super Bowls,
2 NBA championships,
2 NBA titles, and you would have experienced
3 Red Sox titles.
No, 4. No, wait.
They had 4.
Yeah, they had 4.
Come on, I missed one. Okay,
Did they have 3?
They have 4.
They had 04. They had 07.
They had 04, 07, 13, and 18.
Yeah, they had 4.
Okay, so I got 4 of those.
How many?
To go with my 6 for the Patriots and 2 for the Celtics, and the Bruins have won at least 1.
Yeah, how many cups of the Bruins won? I'm gonna say 2.
Cups all time. Their last was just won 2011. Before that, 1972. But all 4 of your teams, if you're 30, all 4 of them have won during your fandom. That's not even old. 30. That's younger than us. I mean, you've seen it all.
You're set forever. You don't have to worry about. You don't have to worry about anything forever. Like as far as your favorite sports teams
There's
go.
nothing that compares to that in America.
Nope.
There's nothing like that. All right. Updates from the Bronx on the other side. Plus, if you missed our conversation with Milan Iloski, the Escondido product for SDFC, you'll hear that coming up at 5:30. SDFC Midweek Live will get underway at 6. We have Jim's back page ahead as well. All in store for you. Hour 4 of Jon and Jim. That comes your way next.
This update's brought to you by Macy's Backstage. Padres, Yankees in the Bronx. We're still scoreless, top of the fourth inning. Dylan Cease just got out of a jam by striking out Aaron Judge. Moving over to NBA playoff action right now. Game 2 between the Celtics and the Knicks. Celtics lead the Knicks 46-36 with 1:30 left in the first half. Later tonight, Thunder and Nuggets. Game 2 of their series tips off at 6:30 p.m. And tonight at 6 p.m., we have SDFC Midweek Live. 1 full hour of SDFC talk right here on your home for SDFC, San Diego Sports 760. What will you find at Macy's Backstage? How about fun Mother's Day gifts? All for under $15. Get low prices every day on unique finds before they're gone. In-store only at Macy's Backstage today. Find a location near you at macy'sbackstage.com. Off price, on trend, arriving daily.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? Final hour of Jon and Jim. Coming up over the next 60 minutes, you will hear our conversation from earlier with Milan Iloski. SDFC forward, scored his first career MLS goal this past weekend. He's out of Escondido here in San Diego. So if you missed that, you'll hear it coming up at 5:30. We're also tracking Padres Yankees tonight in the Bronx, Jim, where, as you just referenced during the update, we don't know if Dylan Cease is going to have a good outing or not. He's had a good 3 innings to this point, and he's just struck out Aaron Judge in a big spot. First and third, 2 outs. He got out of that jam with a strikeout of Judge, and they're scoreless still in the 4th.
How long before you start to say that a game is a pitcher's duel?
That is always a good question because it is until it isn't.
Right.
So like, what if there's a 10-run inning? Or what if Jackson Merrill hits a home run?
Well, if Jackson Merrill hits a home run, then it wouldn't be considered a pitching duel because guess what? The Padres would be leading 1-0.
But that's only if it happened.
Only if it happened. Oh, wait. It just did.
Jackson Merrill's return to the big leagues. Will Jackson Merrill be Jackson Merrill? 2 hits yesterday and a double. And a home run lefty on lefty against Max Fried. Remember, he was 2 for 2 off him last year in the postseason. That's incredible. It is. Max Fried's numbers have been utter insanity. Merrill, a day after returning lefty on lefty, and Fried hangs a pitch and he turns on it and hits it well out of Yankee Stadium.
The kid is
he's good, man. He might stick. When they bring back Cronenworth, I'd keep him on the active roster.
He is definitely a kid that is as special.
What's your tweet? What's your tweet on it?
My tweet is extend Merrill.
Okay, I like that. Mine is Jackson Merrill is special.
Jackson Merrill is special. Jackson Merrill is a cornerstone of this franchise. He's one of the faces of this franchise. He's
but he also helps answer the power question.
He does. Now he has 4 home runs
12 games.
In 12 games this year.
Parts of 12 games.
He's come back so far this season, or has come back from this injury, and he's got a double, a home run, and a single.
Yeah, triple shy in 2 games of everything. Yeah. He's just special. And he doesn't, when we saw him last year as a 20-year-old into 21, I'm like, I didn't know if he was going to be a power hitter. I think he's emerged as like a legitimate power threat. I mean, I don't know what that means or looks like, but I think it looks like a guy that's going to hit 30 home runs consistently, potentially in the major leagues. He's just so complete of a hitter. He really is. And he has been so impactful in his 1+ years in the major leagues. So good start, because when you lead Max Fried and when you take him deep, how many home runs has he allowed this year? Not a lot. Not when you allow 1 run per 9 innings.
That's a great question, John. I will look that up right now for you. Okay.
Aren't you fascinated by that?
Actually,
I'll say it's the second home run he's allowed.
Okay, I'll say it's the third home run he's allowed.
It's the third.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. He allowed one against the Pirates April 4th and one against the Royals April 15th. But he's made, I mean, this is his 8th start. He had allowed 2.
Jackson Merrill in New York City.
First time.
At Yankee Stadium, hitting a home run to the short porch, but it wasn't a cheapie. He got all of it.
No, that was like, and I'd have to see it again because you're on the air. That was kind of away from the Porsche, right? It was kind of more like the alley.
Yeah, it was. It was a bomb.
Like, do we have the Evo and the distance and the this and the that?
I don't have an Evo on it. I don't got an Evo on it.
But you have a distance.
I don't have a distance on it.
How long does that take to typically update?
I don't know.
All right. When we see it, if someone sees it, put in the chat or text us 70470, start it with the word team. Because, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he hit that. Oh,
we got an Evo.
Michael.
Oh, perfect.
I was going to say, dude, he smoked this ball.
Let me guess. Hold on.
Well, now that I said that, thank you, Mike. Seriously.
Let me guess.
He smoked this ball.
I'm going to say 107 off the bat.
You'd be right.
Is it 107?
0.5.
Wow. I'm going to say 397.
417. Whoa. This guy will consistently hit 30 home runs in the big leagues. This guy will consistently hit 30 home runs in the big leagues with health. Like, that's not normal. Lefty on lefty, a breaking pitch. That pitch was not 100 miles per hour. He hits it 107.5 out, 417 feet. I don't care where you hit that. That has nothing to do with Yankee Stadium. That leaves all parks.
God, he's so freaking
all
good.
Parks.
He's so freaking good.
How can they hold this 1-run lead in the 4th inning?
Well, here's what we talked about today is when you are facing a pitcher as good as Max Fried, you're going to have to make whatever score it is. Like, you're going to have to make it stick. You know, I'm not saying you got to win this game 1-0. I think you're going to need to score some more runs tonight, but you got a lead now. And can Dylan Cease hand it over to the bullpen with a lead? That's now going to be the question.
Well, you know, Michael King did yesterday.
Correct. But also Jeremiah Estrada and Jason Adam weren't, I guess, like the first people that were up, and they don't even think they were available.
Right. No, you're right. So when King left, it was 3-2 basically because they scored in the top of the inning. And then Austin Wells hit a grand slam. And Austin Wells today nearly hit a home run, but didn't, as he flied out to the wall in right. So this is going to be compelling and interesting, but Jackson Merrill is homered as the Padres try to win a series in the Bronx in the first career games of Jackson Merrill in New York against the Yankees. It's just crazy because I really was curious, like, is Merrill going to be Merrill? 24 games off and a hamstring injury? He's Merrill. He's Jackson Merrill. And the fact that they have him under contract for the next 9 years is awesome.
Isn't that wild? Hasn't even skipped a beat.
Yep.
Like, from the first at bat yesterday when he returns, we're like, okay, how's he going to look? Boom, 106 off the bat, double down the right field line.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that looked good.
Starts the game 2 for 2. Tonight, one of the best pitchers in baseball, has the best ERA in the American League. Boom, a 400-foot bomb.
Right.
Kid is amazing. Every time that he does something, the more he continues to do it, the more just like you're not going to be as surprised. You're just going to be, this is the norm. Like, this is the norm now.
I got one for you. Let's say Merrill just continues to chug along like he has. Will he be an all-star with 24 games missed?
Yes.
If he just does what he's been doing.
Like, if he gets to the break with like,
well, it'd have to be well before the break, right? Well, okay. I see. Yeah. Because could he be a star? Well, he'd be voted in as a starter. He could just be a starter regardless.
He'll be an all-star if he stays healthy.
Okay. No, I agree. That's why I ask. I mean, 24 games is a lot, but the All-Star break isn't until late. I mean, it's the middle of July.
No, I get it.
So, no, I'm with you. I think that he could absolutely get there. He might start for the National League because
Johnny's hitting 395.
Yeah, it's in 12 games.
With 1170 OPS, 4 homers.
He's
and
Aaron
11
Judge.
RBIs. No, seriously. You track out the numbers.
Well, yeah, if he has an 11.7 OPS, he's an all-star.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, you track out the numbers. He's missed, what, 24 games, you said? 24 games. He's played in now 13.
No, this is 12.
Sorry, it's 12th. So this is his 12th game.
4 home runs.
4 home runs in 12 games. You track it out.
Saying give him another, like, 60 games, that would be 16 or he'd have like 20 home runs.
He's an all-star
at the All-Star. Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, he is that good. He is just getting better and better.
There's so much, like, again, this goes back to this point. They're just so much better with him.
So much better.
Like when they're fully healthy, man, this is one of baseball's better teams. They just are. It doesn't mean they're going to win 67% of the time or whatever, but you put Merrill with Arise and Toddy and Machado, come on.
And they're flashing the leather tonight.
And they're flashing that leather. This would be a big one if they can get it. Again, it's not the end all be all.
No, it is.
There's forever to go. It is the end all be all.
Season's over. They don't win.
Go. It's not the end all be all, but this would be a really good one to get. I think I can say that. And then you have the off day, and then you go to Denver, and then hopefully they play well against the Colorado
It just goes
Rockies.
back to the top 4 of this lineup. Manny's already got a hit tonight.
Yep.
Extending his hitting streak to, I believe, 8 games.
That's correct.
All 8 games since last Tuesday.
Since you called him out.
Correct. I didn't really call. Well, yeah, I kind of did.
Kind of.
The top 4 of this lineup, like we've talked about, Toddy's hitting 316. Arise is hitting 284. That's going to go up. He'll be around closer to 300.
Mm-hmm.
Manny's hitting 303, and Merrill's hitting 395. That's the top 4 of your lineup.
It's a good top 4. Don't need the world from Bogarts and Cronenworth. Just produce.
Even Bogey's got a hit tonight. He legged out a single.
Perfect. But that's
No,
the
I know.
point.
I know.
Those 4 are so good.
They lead the way.
That let those guys. Now, you don't want them to completely underperform. Just perform.
Mm-hmm.
Just be yourselves. Don't do anything that you're not capable of doing. But if Bogarts can look better, if Cronenworth got off to a decent start before getting hit in the ribs.
Dude had a 900 plus OPS.
You have that. And then the rest is all going to be gravy. When Tyler Wade plays and has a hit or two, or when Iglesias plays and has a hit or two, or Elias Diaz plays and has a hit or two, it's all going to be gravy.
Because if the bottom of your lineup can give you anything in games and they turn it over to the top 4, then you got to go through Toddy, Arise, Manny, and Merrill. If the bottom of the lineup puts pressure on the opposing pitcher, very difficult.
It's just so funny. Like, we put the kid special, and then someone replies, yeah, but the other superstar vanished.
Oh my God.
And we're talking about Fernando Tatis Jr., who had the go-ahead RBI double with 2 outs at the top of the 7th inning last night, and is still hitting over 300 and still has his 950 OPS. What do people want from play? You want them all to be Aaron Judge? It's not realistic. And Jackson Merrill, by the way, Jim, to your man, he's not going to have a 1200 OPS this year. Sorry. Spoiler alert. He's not going to have a 1200 OPS. These players aren't all going to perform to MVP levels all year long.
No.
But Tatis is a reason why they're good, right? Tatis is a big reason why they've had a good start this year. He hasn't been a problem. He's been a solution. He's an MVP candidate.
Right. According to MLB.com.
He's a favorite.
The power rankings. The power rankings.
We can't have nice things.
No, we can't.
All right, updates from the Bronx and the NBA postseason. Plus, coming up later this hour, we'll hear from Milan Iloski, San Diego FC forward, who scored his first career goal earlier this season, back on Saturday night. Last Saturday at Snapdragon Stadium. He's out of San Diego and Escondido High School as well. Stay with us. Jim's back page ahead as well. John and Jim. All right. So are your monthly bills keeping you up at night? Are you worried about your finances in these crazy times? Hey, guys, it is Schaefer. And if you're looking, or if you're like most people, you have racked up a sizable amount on your credit cards and the monthly payment is not making a dent in it, it's time to call Loan Pronto. If you own a home, you have a super easy way to get tens or even hundreds of thousands in cash. Loan Pronto has lots of options for helping you tap into the equity in your home and get the cash you need to get back on solid footing. Most homeowners who do this end up wiping out all their credit card debt and cutting their monthly expenses by $1,000. Look, you didn't mean to end up here, but you don't have to keep stressing about money. Call Loan Pronto for fast debt relief now. 619-207-4336 or loanpronto.com. 619-207-4336. LoanPronto.com. That's LoanPronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org. All right, San Diego Sports 760 has 13 chances to win $1,000 every weekday with the Bonus Bucks giveaway. That's every hour, 6 a.m. through 6 p.m. Listen for the keyword, then enter it at sportssd.com. So 1-0 Padres. They're trying to add on here in the fifth inning. What's interesting in terms of what happened, it's not that Martin Maldonado just ripped the ball to right field. It's that Aaron Judge has dropped another ball.
Oh, awful.
Now, this was not as bad as Game 5 of the World Series where it literally was just dropped in center field, like just dropped. But like that's, if you are a Yankee fan and if you are Aaron Judge, how are you not thinking about that this upcoming October? That he cannot catch the ball.
Like legitimately just can't catch it.
I mean, the one in the World Series was egregious. I mean, absurd, right? We would all agree. The most ridiculous drop you've ever seen.
That might have been worse.
You'd have to. The one in the World Series is awful, Jim. It was like a can of corn, wasn't it?
It was. He was coming in on it, and it was a little low, but he still easy catch. I think the catch probability was like 100%.
Right.
Seriously.
And this too. This he was going back at a ball. Easy play. On the run. Easy play. 99.99. And he can't catch the ball. So listen, when I take him, yes, I will take that any day of the week. You can make up for it with your offense, but man, that's an interesting little storyline that Aaron Judge has like the yips and like you can't catch the ball. It's one thing you can't throw the ball. That has happened throughout baseball history. Not catching the ball is a bit abnormal, is what I would say.
How many more instances like this before they would be like, should we just move into DH?
No, he's
solve the problem.
I mean, I don't know what to say about that, but Padres are trying to add on and take advantage. This came with 2 outs, Jim, in the fifth inning. And Toddy, who someone told me on social media sucks, has just singled. He didn't say he sucked, but he's like, the other superstars disappeared. No, he hasn't. It's going to be ebbs and flows to the season. So it's been a good game.
How did you drop that ball? Anyway,
I have no idea.
That was just
like
awful.
Again, we watch a lot of baseball, right?
Yeah, John.
How often do you see a ball dropped? Now, Bogarts just had one the other day on the infield, but that was more of a collision than a drop.
like a legitimate like can of corn,
How often is the
easy
ball
pop fly.
1 in 25,000 or something? 1 in 10,000?
I mean,
never
rarely
see it.
does it happen.
Yeah,
that I watch and I see.
I mean, again,
in real time.
sun, of course,
Mhm.
collision, of course,
but
just the ball is hit to you and you do not catch it. Like that's one of the rarest things. Honestly, that is so rare, and he's had it happen to him again a good amount, at least a couple times since I've been watching since last October.
I'll admit I haven't watched like all of Aaron Judge this year.
No,
obviously.
I'm assuming it never happens.
I don't know if this was the first time this season that this has happened, or if it's been multiple times. Because if it's been multiple times, then
they got a problem.
You're bordering on
he can't play
the Y word.
Yeah, I agree completely.
What's the Y word?
I already brought it up. Yips.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with that. What's the update from TD Garden?
Well, John, glad you asked that. The Celtics are leading the New York Knicks 50-41. Second half is about to get underway.
60-41?
No, 50-41.
Okay.
So closer than maybe expected. Oh, he caught that.
Dude, he is an adventure out there.
But back to the playoffs.
It's the same thing that you said about the 3-point shooting, though. They're 5 of 21 now.
Yep. And
this is 15 of 60 last game.
This is what's keeping the Knicks in this game.
Right in this game.
And look, it just shows you how good the Celtics are this year, that
they can shoot poorly.
Being
and win.
5 of 21 from 3. I think maybe 5 of 22 now from 3.
Yeah.
That they're still up by 9.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just a bad sign.
To your, like, the Knicks are kind of in it. And in the NBA, as we've seen so many times already this postseason, you leave a team in a game, 6-7 point game.
9-point leads are nothing in the NBA.
Absolutely nothing.
20-point leads are nothing in the NBA.
We've seen that play out through the postseason as well. So I mean,
it's different on the road. It's different on the road.
If I'm a Celtics fan right now, I probably don't feel great about where I'm at. Where if the Knicks came back and stole this game, they'd be in serious trouble. But again, it's only just underway in the third quarter. 50-41 Celtics still to come tonight. Thunder Nuggets game 2.
I'm really excited about that one.
Mm-hmm.
Nuggets have had just some insane games this postseason.
Yeah, against the Clippers is a great series.
Couple against the Clippers, the game winner there by Aaron Gordon.
Yeah, exactly.
Game 1 here against the Thunder. Like, they've had some good, other than the blowout win in game 7 against the Clippers. The Nuggets have played some really close games.
Yeah, they really have. They really have. No, I'm looking forward to it as well. NBA playoffs have been really good.
They have. You know, I think even all the bitching and crying and moaning from the Timberwolves head coach about physicality.
Yeah, he didn't like that.
I do appreciate it, and I like that these NBA playoffs have been so physical. And the refs are letting them play.
They have let them play.
Yes,
I'm not just saying, forget about Warriors T-Wolves.
Yeah.
Just watching these games, there have been times where I'm like, I cannot believe these aren't being called fouls. Like when they let like centers, like center on center, you can like get away with everything.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much physicality.
Now, the things that like I am not liking is just the blatant bear hugs of players, like of Steph. Steph's trying to run around, and it's just like he's getting bear hugged. You're like, what are we doing here? If you're going for a rebound, every man for themselves, right? Go for a rebound. I don't care, right?
Right.
But if Steph's just like running around trying to come off screens and he's getting bear hugged, that's a foul. But when the ball's in the air, off the rim, guys are going for rebounds, let him be physical.
How much different does it look? Because you watch way more regular season than I do. How much different does it look right now than it looks in the regular season?
Night and day, not even close.
See, that's really interesting to me. So it's like completely different in terms of what they're letting players get away with.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, I kind of respect that.
And they're not even playing this type of brand of basketball in the regular season.
No, of course not. Guarding like this, defending like this.
Yeah, no shot. Right. No shot.
It's like everything changes once you get to the postseason.
Yep. And I appreciate it. I like it.
I do too. I've been enjoying it.
It's almost like the NHL playoffs where in the NHL, regular season to postseason hockey,
it ratchets.
Oh my gosh. Postseason hockey is the best.
It's great.
Because they are playing so hard.
Yes.
Every second of that game.
Yeah.
And there's been some insane games already in the NHL playoffs.
There have. Now the difference is NBA
Stanley Cup playoffs.
NBA ratings up, NHL playoff ratings are down. And the reason why, they say, a lot of big brands are not in the NHL playoffs, like the Boston Bruins and I'm correct me if I'm wrong, the New York Rangers, the Philadelphia Flyers. Like if you look at the teams that are in the NHL playoffs, there's a number of Canadian teams that are in it right now. Winnipeg, Toronto,
Maple Leafs are in it.
Yeah, but some of those big American brands aren't in Pittsburgh. Is Pittsburgh in it? I don't think so. The Penguins.
So
Who's
now,
left in the NHL playoffs?
All right, we got the Winnipeg Jets.
Yeah, that ain't exactly the Lakers.
Well, they're a 1 seed.
Yeah, but they have no relevancy, I'm saying, on television.
True, you're right.
0.
Dallas Stars.
Okay, that's good.
The Las Vegas Golden Knights.
Okay.
The Edmonton Oilers.
Again, no one cares.
Toronto Maple Leafs.
Good franchise, but in Toronto.
Now, did they win the Stanley Cup last year? The Panthers? The Florida Panthers?
No idea.
I feel like they've won a cup recently.
Right. But who cares about the Panthers?
And you got the Capitals and the Hurricanes.
Yeah, that ain't right. That's not Bruins, Blackhawks, Penguins.
No, but I mean, you got Ovechkin on the Capitals. All right.
I do. Yeah.
And that's all I can name.
I mean, listen, if it's good hockey, it's good hockey. But all right. We'll keep you updated. On the other side, again, if you missed our conversation earlier, we were talking SDFC, and we will again coming up at 6 p.m. But Milan Iloski, SDFC forward out of Escondido, scored his first career Major League Soccer goal against FC Dallas this past Saturday night. If you missed our conversation, you'll hear it on the other side, plus Jim's back page and updates from Yankee Stadium, where the Padres lead the Yankees 1-0 in the 5th inning. This is Jon and Jim.
This update's brought to you by Pala Casino Spa Golf Resort. Padres Yankees in the Bronx. Padres, thanks to a Jackson Merrill solo home run, lead the Yankees 1-0, bottom of the 5th inning there. NBA playoff action happening right now in Boston. Celtics lead the Knicks 57-47, 7 minutes left to go in the third quarter there. Thunder Nuggets, game 2 of that series tips off at 6:30. And 30 minutes from now, SDFC Midweek Live, 1 full hour of SDFC talk right here on your home of SDFC, San Diego Sports 760. Jefferson Starship is coming to Pala Casino Starlight Theater on Friday, May 30th at 8 p.m. Get ready for an unforgettable live performance experience. Get your tickets today at palacasino.com. Pala Casino, just 10 minutes east of I-15 and Highway 76.
All right, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. Jim's back page coming up. If you missed it earlier, great story, local product. Milan Iloski out of Escondido, his first career goal this past weekend for SDFC. And we started our conversation by asking how surreal it is to be back home playing for SDFC.
No, of course, I'm happy to be here. Yeah, I mean, of course, playing in my hometown team in the first season ever, it's an amazing feeling, and it's something that, you know, a lot of pride for me and my family. And I was born here and raised here, so of course it's an unbelievable feeling and something that I'll never forget.
When you got the call that you know, for an opportunity to come here, what was that conversation like with your family when you told them that you were going to be playing in your hometown for the MLS team, San Diego FC?
Well, actually, my mom was visiting me in Copenhagen.
Okay.
At the time when I first got the call, so she was there for the full experience from the first call I got. But no, they were all extremely excited. I think it was a bit overwhelming probably for everyone at the time, and you know, pretty crazy to think that I was not just coming back to America, but I was coming back to, you know, the city that my entire family's in. So of course they were extremely excited, and I think for all of us when I first got back, it was a little bit like almost like a shock at first, and just, you know, we're so grateful for the opportunity, and it's something that, you know, it's something we couldn't have dreamt of. So it's been amazing, and they've all been extremely excited.
Milan Iloski with us right now, SDFC forward, again scored his first career Major League Soccer goal this past weekend against FC Dallas. Take us through the goal. What is that experience like? What are you going to remember most about that whole play?
No, it was amazing. It was a good ball into the middle of the field, and you know, we had a little bit of a break there, and then of course it was a good pass by Oni and set me up for a chance. And then of course when the ball hits the net, it's just you black out a little bit, to be honest, and it's something that it's a special feeling to do it in front of my hometown, and you know, all the fans are from, you know, people I grew up with. Really, a lot of people who are in the stands I've known most of my life, so it's amazing to feel that support from everyone in San Diego. It's something that honestly I didn't really expect to have so much support, and it's just been amazing for me. And yeah, of course when the ball goes in and the fans go crazy, and you know, I had to go celebrate with them because those are my people, so I had to go and share it with them, and it was it was an amazing feeling.
Yeah, no, it was a great moment, and it probably felt even better that it came in a win for you guys as well. You know, a big win for your club, coming off of 3 straight losses and emphatically ending that losing streak last Saturday night. Do you guys feel, I mean, obviously it's a breakout game for everybody, but do you feel even after your 3-game losing streak that you guys were on the cusp of breaking out like you did on Saturday night?
Yeah, I mean, I think always, like, the team had confidence, and we train really hard and we work really hard. The staff prepares us really well, and you know, we went through a little bit of a slump there with a couple of bad performances, bad results, but we've always had that confidence that at any point we can go out and dominate a game like that and get a big win. So the team never lost that confidence, and we just worked really hard every day on the training field. And yeah, you know, it resulted in a good performance on Saturday, but you know, that's been building, I think, for not just days, but a lot of weeks of hard trainings and, you know, good performances every day.
Milan Iloski with us right now, again with SDFC, scored that goal against FC Dallas, played at Escondido, went to UCLA, is now back in Southern California with SDFC. You have the firsthand experience, Milan. What's it like? What's the soccer culture like, the community like, growing up, playing the sport here in Southern California?
No, it's amazing. I mean, for me growing up, there was the Chargers here and the Padres, and that was it. And you still had this feeling like it was a huge soccer town. So, I grew up here playing my whole youth until going out to UCLA. So, I had two older brothers who both played and a younger sister who also played when I was growing up. So, we all felt that we've all been in the pipeline our whole lives, and it's a soccer town, I think. And I think now that there's actually a team here, everyone feels it. But I think it's been a long time coming. Also, I think that it's a bit of a surprise there wasn't a team here years ago. So I think now there finally is. I think everyone's seeing opening their eyes a little bit and realizing how amazing of a soccer town that it really is.
Yeah, every match at Snapdragon Stadium has been incredible so far through the first 5 matches here in San Diego. When you look at this club, Milan, and you guys have played well, even though coming off the 3-game losing streak, played well on Saturday night, obviously. What's the confidence level of the club right now, as far as we know we're good and we know that we can compete with anybody in this league? Where's that confidence at?
Yeah, of course, it's really high. I think, we also understand that we work really hard. And I think, we have a really talented group of players and a great staff. And, I think when you put in the work every day, you have that feeling of confidence. And so, of course, the confidence is going to be high. And, we realize that it can't be too high. And we have to, focus going one game at a time. Of course, after a performance like that, everyone's on a high, and we're going to continue to ride that. But, it's about not getting too high and too low in this league. So, just like in the 3 games where we didn't get a win, now after this big one, as amazing as it is, we realize, there's another match coming quick, and we got to replicate that performance because that's the level we hold ourselves to. So, we're just all excited to get out there again and hopefully put on another great performance.
That'll be Saturday in St. Louis against St. Louis SC. 5:30 is the start. You can hear it right here on San Diego Sports 760. For you personally, Milan, and again, Milan Iloski with us right now out of Escondido, playing for SDFC. What's the next step for you as you continue to grow your game? How do you see the evolution of your own play as you move forward with this club?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always looking to get better. I'm still pretty young. So for me, I feel like I have so much to continue to work on and improve on. Just trying to take it one day at a time and enjoy the experiences of being with this club. And, the staff does a great job of working with us all, doing extra work and everything. And so for me, it's always trying to improve, getting better on the goal, getting faster, getting stronger, trying to really find ways that I could, continue to impact the game and, help the team get as many wins and, bring as many special and fun moments to these amazing fans who really deserve it. So, yeah, for me, I just, I want to get better in all areas all the time. And, it's my main focus, my biggest priority. And, I'm always going to be coming in every day, working hard to give back to the people of San Diego as much as I can.
How's it been to play under Mike Ybarra's?
No, great. I mean, he demands a lot, and I've had a couple of meetings with him in the past. And, one thing, he's really honest, and that's all I've ever asked from a manager. And, he's a great guy off the pitch, of course. So, it makes it also easier to get along with. But on the field, he's very demanding, and he knows what he wants. And, that's all you can really ask for as a player. So he's been great.
How many texts after the goal?
Yeah.
You get
what's your phone look
what's
like?
the phone look like? Who was there? I mean, you have family in the building this past Saturday, but then what did the phone look like?
Yeah. Every game I'm feeling so bad denying tickets to family, but I had about 20 in the stands usually on any given night. So no, everyone was going crazy. My phone was a joke. I just had to put it away for about an hour and let it calm down. So I don't even know how many messages, maybe a couple hundred. But
that's amazing.
I really appreciate it. I mean, yeah, it's really humbling, to be honest, when you see how many people that, you haven't spoken to me for a couple of years, but there's still that connection that you grew up with or that you, of course, have shared so many memories with. So, no, it's really humbling for me and something that I'm trying not to take for granted and trying to just soak up as much as I can.
Imagine that experience. That's never happened to me one time in my life. If I ever have 100 messages, it's like spam. it's like spam text or something, or unrecognizable numbers. That is an amazing.
Or it's from me, and you just stop texting me, Jim.
I just mute them. Yeah. Milan, congratulations on this past weekend. We're looking forward to the upcoming weekend here in St. Louis. Continued successes, and thanks for hopping on here in San Diego.
Thanks, Milan.
I really appreciate it, guys. Thanks a lot.
San Diego FC in action Saturday on the road, St. Louis City. You can hear the match right here on San Diego Sports 760. Jim, are you okay? Because that interview was from earlier.
I'm not. I'm emotional.
You were. What did you eat? Was it a donut?
I found a donut in the building and I snagged it.
Pounded that thing.
I did. I know. I'm sorry, Brent. There's only one left.
Where was it from?
Our favorite place, Randy's.
And what was the flavor?
It's like a sugar.
You were so happy to see that thing, weren't you?
I was very happy to see that thing.
And now you can't speak for whatever reason. Ever since you ate, you've just been like choking.
I ate it and I like coughed or something, and it like I got stuck in my throat, and I can't speak.
Yeah, I don't want to make that call to Aaron. Like, hey, Jim's dead. He ate a donut. He's like just been coughing.
She would honestly say, makes sense.
Probably.
Jim choked to death on a jelly donut.
Yeah, makes sense.
She'd be like, of course he did.
Of course he died on a donut.
Yeah, it was a good run though.
Solid run.
Well, listen, it's better than having to go get a real ID or whatever.
That was so easy to do, by the way.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah, there's a kiosk down here at Vaughn's. You go to the Vaughn's.
Yeah, but does it print out a real ID?
No, it prints out like a receipt, and then it sends you the ID in about 4 to 6 weeks, which is fine. I don't need it because I got my passport.
The real? Because you're supposed to go into the DMV to get the real. You can't get.
I have my real.
Oh,
this was just to renew my ID.
Oh, okay. To renew it. Okay,
not a real.
That makes sense.
Yeah, not renew, but not get a real ID, just renew.
Just renew it. Okay, everything's fine. All right.
Brent was like, "Wait, what?
What happened?"
I was like, "Oh, cool! I'm going to save myself a trip."
Padres still leading the Yankees in the 6th inning, 1-0. That's all I'll say about that. Padres are leading the Yankees in the bottom of the 6th inning, 1-0. Dylan Cease still out there for the Padres, 68 pitches in, pitching beautifully to this point. Jim's back page on the other side. Stay with us. 1-0 Padres through 6. 1-0 Padres through 6. Brent's curious what we're talking about. 1-0 Padres through 6.
1-0 Padres through 6.
Can't say more.
Can't say anymore.
He says okay. All right. Do you want to do a back page?
I do want to do a back page.
Let's get to it.
Legoland, California, John, here in Carlsbad, is pulling a page out of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Okay.
On Monday, the theme park unveiled a golden ticket hunt for its hotel guests.
Cool.
When guests check in, they will redeem Mr. Gold Keys for a chance to unlock a unique surprise, the hotel said on a post. Legoland California advises hotel guests to keep their eyes peeled for the golden ticket, which will be hidden around the hotel. Once the golden ticket is found, the hotel says to bring it to the front desk to receive a special surprise. The theme park hotel offers amenities from a heated resort-style pool and arcade to Lego play and build areas. Don't know what the prize is going to be, but
I think that's pretty cool.
There you go. I'm assuming it's probably like Legos or something small, not like anything big.
As opposed to like what the prize for like Wonka was.
You
like.
won $50,000.
And you got to visit the factory, right?
You now are the owner of Legoland.
Amazing.
No, it wouldn't be.
Well, Jones would think it's cool.
Well, yeah, because he just played with all the
Legos. Yeah.
And then when they ask for like cost of things to repair stuff, you're like, what?
All right, what else do you have?
Hold on, itching my eye there. All right, moving on. Starbucks, John. Where did it go? Hold on, stand by.
That was good.
Starbucks today said that they're giving away free cold foams from today, May 7th to May 11th. Starbucks kicking off cold foam days with a delicious deal from May 7th to May 11th. Starbucks rewards members in the U.S. and Canada can enjoy free cold foam of any cold beverage. The limited time offer includes the debut of the new brown sugar cream cold foam. That actually sounds delicious. How to get it? Be a Starbucks rewards member. Sign up for free on the Starbucks app. Order any cold drink. Use the app or visit the local Starbucks. Customize with cold foam. Redeem in-store or on the app. And boom, how you doing?
Is this a dumb question? It probably is. What is a cold foam?
It's like whipped like cream.
Whipped cream on top?
Kind of like it's like creamy foam.
Okay. So, did not know that.
There you go.
The more you learn.
Outback
Steakhouse.
Yes. Outback Steakhouse announced the release of a new appetizer, the new boomerang mozzarella sticks.
Wow. Is that like the Bloomin' Onion?
No. These aren't your average mozzarella sticks, John. Outback has taken the beloved cheesy snack and given it a bold Aussie-style upgrade by infusing each piece with the brand's signature Bloomin' Onion spices.
So they did break out the Bloomin' Onion.
They didn't. Shaped like boomerangs for fun. A theme twist.
The
6-piece appetizer served hot and crispy with the side of classic marinara sauce.
Oh, we need these.
You could eat those.
Kristen loves mozzarella sticks.
Oh, I know, dude. So good.
They're so good.
So good. There you go. That's my story.
No. That was only 2.
No, it's 3.
Okay, what was it? Okay, the foam.
Willy Wonka, Lego,
right.
Starbucks, get free cold foam brew from now until the 11th, and then go to Outback Steakhouse, get the new boomerang mozzarella sticks.
Right. Correct me if I'm wrong. This Padres Yankees game feels like a postseason game. And the reason I say it is it just feels like a lot is hanging in the balance.
I'm not doing it.
The series is hanging in the balance, and it's 1-0, and one swing could change the game, and yada yada yada. And the pitching matchup's ridiculous. You said pitcher's duel. I would say this is a pitcher's duel.
Yeah, we are officially a pitcher's duel now.
Yeah,
Once we get
still out there.
Once we're in the 7th inning,
there's
1-0, it is officially a pitcher's duel.
Yeah.
And the great part is you got a full bullpen at your disposal, all ready to go with Estrada, Adam, and Suarez.
Mm-hmm. If needed.
If needed.
Yep.
So the most important thing tonight is getting the win, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. Everything else is secondary, right?
I would say yes. You agree?
I agree with that.
I mean, what's more important than winning?
Nothing.
I mean, no, I get your point. So 1-0 Padres. The run in this game, Jackson Merrill's 4th home run. He hit it 417 feet.
That's wild. He is second on the team in home runs, and he's played in 13 games.
12.
He's played in 12 games.
Just 12 games, and he's hit 4 home runs already for the Padres. It's been, this is going to be a must watch the next few innings at
Are you going to go
Stadium.
home? Or do you have to watch?
No, I'm sleeping here. We sold our place. We're just going to live here.
Live in the back. There's
I mean,
a couch
we're doing
back there.
4-hour shows.
We basically live here.
You know, I mean, sure, I have the other 20 hours off.
I mean, I go home, cook dinner, watch the rest of the Padres game, do wrap-up show, never see my wife. It's great.
She's there.
Actually, it's not great. Well, she's there, but she's just like, she's there.
I know.
So,
I know.
Anyway.
Celtics lead the Knicks by 12 at the start of the 4th quarter.
Game's over.
Celtics, you're saying, are going to win?
Yeah.
I agree.
Game's over. All right. So we're going to the bottom of the 7th here in the Bronx, right?
I think so. Yeah. Bottom of the 7th inning in the Bronx. Dylan Cease. We said we take 6 innings from him, Jim. What did we say? 6 innings or more, 2 runs or less. To this point, he's checked that box.
Yep.
So not a lot of margin tonight in a 1-0 game.
No, these are rarely seen in baseball where you win the game 1-0. Like you rarely see games end 1-0, right?
Very rarely. Didn't the Padres lose a game this year at home 1-0? The answer is yes. Who was it to? It was during their 4-game losing streak, or did they lose the Rays 1-0?
Did they lose the Rays?
Or was it the week before that when they had lost 8 of 11? Check their schedule. They definitely lost a game 1-0 at home this year.
All right, I'll check. Ready?
Yep.
Here we go. At home.
Well, they only have a few losses.
They did lose a game 1-0.
To whom?
Friday night against Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah. So you're right, though. They're super rare.
Michael King got the loss in that game, which was ridiculous.
Yeah, he really struggled.
Went 5 innings, gave up one run, but it was unearned. 9 strikeouts, 1 walk.
That's crazy. Yeah, so it is rare. The fact that they've already had one this year, yeah, it's very, very rare. All right, we will have a wrap-up show tonight. So join us tonight on YouTube.
Yes.
All right, we will wrap up Padres and Yankees. Then get an off day tomorrow for the Padres. So we'll be on the air at 2 p.m. recapping this Yankees series, looking ahead to the Rockies. Padres and Rockies, again, 3-game series beginning Friday evening. If you missed anything today, go to sportssd.com or the iHeartRadio app or iTunes or TuneIn Radio or Spotify. If you're listening to us on a podcast, please leave a review as well. Back tomorrow at 2 p.m. SDFC Midweek Live is on the other side. And for Brent and Jim, I'm John. SDFC Midweek Live, 1 full hour coming up next. This is San Diego Sports 760.
Okay.
Bye-bye.